YouTube. What's good, guys? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And today's live is going to be get these guys off your rosters. It's okay to drop these guys. These guys, now listen, I don't turn anything down, but my call-up players are always good depending on the circumstances. But these players that I got for you today, I don't believe these guys are ever going to really have any sauce all year, and it's going to be a waste of your time to be storing these guys. You need to start making moves to get better guys that got better upside. That's why I'm telling you to drop these guys. I'm not telling you to drop them like they never going to have any points, or they never going to score 10 points or even 20. But it might be smoke and mirrors. They might have a few good weeks, and you're going to wait on them for 8-9 weeks and make your rosters. So, guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. I said what I said. This is cutting edge content, guys. Let's get the likes up. Yes, sir. What's going on, William? What's going on, bruh? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Oh, messages. Yes, sir. Yo, we back. What's up, Gabe Barker? What's up, bruh? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got Jay Moore in the building. Had a good week. Thanks for advising me to keep Jacory Krosky married. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hell yeah. Appreciate the sleeper mentions. Help me keep up. Thank you, bruh. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started, guys. Just go ahead and flood the comments. I got the Q&A for you tonight. If you need to ask me about anything about the game, any starters and sits for tonight's game, anything going on with the waiver wire, I got you, right? Yes, sir. So the first guy that I believe that you should be getting off your roster is going to be Austin Ekeler. Yes, Austin Ekeler. You should be getting Austin Ekeler off your rosters, and the reason why is Jacory Krosky has the upside. Austin Ekeler has never stayed healthy for a 17-game season. He's older. He's a good back. He knows the game, but he's not as young as Jacory. So why would you hold on to Austin Ekeler? And it's not even no juice to squeeze out of the limit. I would say, well, listen, let's just keep him for 3 or 4 weeks and just get whatever you can. I think it's a waste of time. I think Jacory Krosky is the guy. The only thing that could derail this is an injury from Jacory. And then they probably going to bring back Rodriguez, and how many carries Austin Ekeler really going to have anyway. So I'm not going to waste your time and tell you to hold on to no Austin Ekeler. I didn't like him in the beginning, but he was the starter, and I got to respect the starter. I wasn't on him, but I got to respect it. And I learned that a long time ago. I used to talk about a lot of guys in my content, and then people will say, well, what about this guy? I'm like, why did I even make a video about this guy? This guy's a waste of time. And I believe Austin Ekeler this year in 2025 is the waste of time when you have a guy on your team like Jacory Krosky and you got a guy like Chris Rodriguez who's waiting to be active in any game. Joel, what's up? What's up, bruh? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on, Ricky Bobby? Okay, let's move on to my next guy. Another guy that I think you should be getting off your roster or trying to trade or whatever you need to do, but you need to move forward. It's going to be Mark Andrews from the Baltimore Ravens. Guys, they scored 40 points. And what did Mark Andrews do? Kind of nothing. He might have been out there and made a few good blocks and caught a pass or two, but I'm not holding on to no Mark Andrews when I can get a guy like Isaiah Likely who's going to have a really nice role in the passing game. Now, I'm not saying that Mark Andrews is not going to have no top 5 tight end games, but you don't want to he just get a top 5 tight end game and you hold on to him for 6 weeks, holding up a spot. Now, people pick up Tyler Warren. They pick up all these other tight ends and you waiting on Mark Andrews. Now your team get passed by. Don't let these type of players clog up your rosters. So I'm saying move on from Mark Andrews. RG says, hit me up for lives, bro. I got you. I got you, bro. And I need to hit you up a little bit more. Thank you. Text me through the day. Text me to let me know, hey, TD, I'm free. I'm free. That way I can think about you, bro. I got so much going on. I'm looking at my leagues. I'm working. I'm trying to make content. I forget sometimes. My bad, bro. Ricky Bobby says, yo, TD, drop Dak Prescott for Justin Herbert. My backup is J.J. McCarthy. No. Let me tell you, I really like Dak. I think Dak just had a tough week for scoring. Justin Herbert is going to be good. I'm not saying he's going to be good. And if you really, really want Justin Herbert, you do it. But what I'm telling you, if you make that swap and Justin Herbert play bad, you shouldn't be worried about it. You shouldn't be upset at anything because you wanted Justin Herbert. You got a Justin Herbert on your team. He just hasn't put the points on the board. He's playing good. He got George Pickens. He got CeeDee Lamb, right? He got Jake Ferguson. He got a good roster. They're going to pass the ball a lot, but he just didn't have the outcome that you wanted. So Dak is going to be high in targets as far as the whole fantasy football. He's going to be up there with top 3 guys like Joe Burrow, Dak, and probably a couple other guys. So don't drop Dak just to go to Justin Herbert, right? That's like dropping Salma Hayek to go to Margot Robbie. What is really the difference between the two women? What is really the difference between Justin Herbert and Dak? Dak is going to probably have more passing attempts than Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert, when Amari Hampton start eating and it gets cold, and I know this is a warm weather team because they're from the West Coast, but I believe that they will have games where they run the ball more. I don't never see the Cowboys running the ball a lot with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens when you got guys like Jaden Blue and Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams. So I will hold on to Dak, but that's a great question. I will hold on to Dak. But if you want to drop J.J. McCarthy and pick up Justin Herbert and then trade him, that's a good move too. You could go pick him up as a #1 waiver priority for Justin Herbert, but make sure you got trade targets. Make sure don't pick him up and trying to harass everybody to trade him. Don't harass people to make a trade because that'll turn them off. So if you know people in your league gonna need them, then you do it. But if you don't know, and I don't know, or maybe, don't do it. It's a waste of time. Don't never draft a guy or pick up a guy just to trade him unless you know you got guys that's gonna want him. And you know this is a big time waiver wire addition. Okay, let's move on, guys. So Austin Ekeler was one of my get this guy off your roster. My next guy was Mark Andrews. So going on to my number 3 guy is going to be Jerome Ford. Get him off your rosters. And I told y'all, I didn't know what was going to happen. I said Sampson is the guy. And I'm not talking about for the rest of the season. Crenshaw was going to have the starting role. But what guy did I rather have? I rather got Sampson because I know he was going to be a PPR guy, and I felt like Jukins was getting overdrafted. Like I didn't want to take him that early in the first round. And I could get Sampson in the 4th or 3rd round in my rookie drafts. And you can get Sampson late in real drafts. But, Crenshaw went through a situation in redraft where he was a great value too. And I told y'all to go trade for the guy before this last week, before Sunday. So hopefully you did that. So no Jerome Ford. Get him off your roster. I won't be surprised if he's cut or if he goes on IR or if he goes to the practice squad. But I don't want no Jerome Ford. So don't be waiting on no Jerome Ford. It's a waste of time. All right, moving on to my next guy. And this is a little bit tricky. This is more of a guy you need to trade or get off of him. But it's Kenneth Walker. I said, listen, guys, and it happened the first week. I don't want no Kenneth Walker. Zach Charbonnet is the guy because of his ADP value and what he could do to Kenneth Walker is the guy to have. The only thing you could do for Kenneth Walker is lose. If he don't have a big play, you losing, right? So I didn't want that type of value on my team when I didn't feel like it could traject up. He had to boom and be a top 5 running back for me really to respect his value. But Charbonnet just needed to be, a top 24 guy? Even a top 32 guy, he would be fine. And then if something happens to Kenneth Walker, he could come in and be a top 5 guy. So I told a lot of you to get Zach Charbonnet and fade Kenneth Walker, and a lot of you stayed with it. And I'm going to see how long you're going to stay with this. Listen, I could be wrong. Kenneth Walker could be the #1 RB from week 2. So I hate chastising you, but only thing I can do, guys, I got to chastise you some for you to learn, and I have to chastise you the ones who stay strong on Kenneth Walker when I could clearly see, because I've seen clearly stuff before and still been wrong. So just because I say it doesn't mean it's going to be set in stone, but I just don't want you to go down with Kenneth Walker. And if you do, as long as you don't complain, I won't say anything to you. If you keep them because you like them, but if you start complaining, like if you come to me in week 6 and I see TD, and because I see the people that's in here, and you say, TD, man, what do I do with Kenneth Walker? I'm gonna go on a rant, and I'm not gonna disrespect you or anything, but I'm gonna tell him, so listen, you don't listen to me because I've been telling you to get off the guy, right? So so I get it, man. I know I'm not always right. But some stuff you just got to go down with the ship. If I tell you and it don't happen, you just got to go down with the ship with it. And a lot of guys do that. So no Kenneth Walker. And last but not least, guys, before I get to everybody comment, what's going on, Elisa? And Lisa, I want to talk to you. I want to talk about CMC, Elisa. And I don't want you to run, and I don't want you to talk about, well, in week 9, he's going to go down. No, Lisa, we're not going to. You know, I love you to death. I love you to death, Lisa. You're one of my most loyal supporters, and I know you know that. But I want to chastise because you said you double K. TD, he's cooked. TD, CMC is cooked. Come on, TD, you know I love you, but he's cooked. That's cooked. Was that cooked? Now, I don't care how explosive he was. I didn't draft him to be the fastest guy in the NFL. I drafted CMC so I can get #1 week upside. That's all. If it's only 3 weeks. So I won in the majority of the leagues that I had CMC, except for the leagues where I didn't have a top quarterback. Okay. The last guy is going to be Jaylen Waddle. Look, you need to trade him and get him off your roster. He's never going to be a #1 wide receiver, and Tyreek is probably going to be gone soon. I didn't say drop him, Slick Rick. I did not say drop Kenneth Walker. Listen, if that's the case, you can't drop anybody. You can't go with my flow of what I'm saying. Oh my gosh. Come on, guys. You gonna hit me with the week 1? Because if CMC struggles, come on. I'm not gonna read out your comments no more. If you can't be accountable and you're gonna call me out in the chat, you waiting for a demise. I can't make him not get hurt. He might get hurt next week. See what I'm saying, guys? Y'all see this? No matter what happens, I can't win. Thank you, Jor. Thank you. Because it's not about that. We know he can get down, but it's a week-to-week thing that I'm going with. So I'm winning in my leagues. That's all. That's all I'm trying to say. And Slick Rick, you said if you just go to church and pray if you drafted Walker. Thank you. Okay, I see that. So don't drop him, but I told y'all not to pick this guy up. So now what you're gonna have to do is try to trade Kenneth Walker for a downgrade piece. And I would try to go at Trooper Hubbards. You might not be able to do it now, but I would try to get Trooper Hubbards on my team if I got Kenneth Walker. I don't know. Would I go down to Tyrone Tracy? No, Tyrone Tracy didn't do that great. That's a guy that I talked about. I thought he would have a better role. Maybe it's the tough game, but I got to be accountable for Tyrone Tracy. He didn't have a good week. So I'm willing to drop him if I need to move on to a Charbonnet or that type, right? Okay. But we'll get back to that, guys. We'll get back to it. He had a good game, but Henry is way better. Of course, they way better. And Lisa, this is what I want you to listen. Don't you know there's people that ain't that good, but they putting out good fantasy points? I understand. CMC, if I'm starting a team, Lisa, I don't want. He's too old for me to start a team with him. I'm not going to trade for him in real football. But in fantasy, his role is so good. You have to draft this guy with that type of negative injury history because it's so. You see what he did, and we all saying he ain't explosive, and he put up the most points than any RB did. Maybe second to Derrick Henry. So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm drafting that guy right there, that #2 running back overall. That's all I'm doing. I'm not drafting because I think he's the best player. Right, Tron. Right. Right, Ace. And I've been telling y'all that all year about likely too. Okay, but Jaylen Waddle, guys. Jaylen Waddle. I don't want nobody but Devon A-Chain on this team. I don't want nobody as maybe Malik Washington as when Tyreek gets traded, which he's going to get traded, or they're going to have to get rid of Tua. So that's why I don't. Jaylen Waddle, guys, he's a good #2. He could be a top #2. He could be a top 7 wide receiver in the NFL or in fantasy, but he can't do it with Tua. It's over. Tua. Now, this is what I say, Lisa. Tua is cooked. Tua is cooked. No, we're not going to compare him to Henry. That's not what it's about, Lisa. I'm not going to compare him to Henry. What I want to do, I want to compare him. Can he finish in the top 5? If he don't finish in the top 5, I get it. Because why would I want an injury-prone guy that can go down anytime, Elisa, and he's not even going to give me top 5 numbers? But I'm not going to compare him to the #1 RB. I'm going to compare him to being top 5 every week until he gets hurt. At least if I can get 6 weeks out of him, I would take it. The reason why, that's why I talk about the quadrants. If I can get out of the first quadrant 4-1, 3-1, 5-2, and stuff like that, I take that all day. Yeah, and Waddle can't stay healthy. He's the number 2 speed demon. And him getting crosses and taking hits, that's not good for him. He need to be getting targets down the field. Yeah, two-way is cooked. He needs to be getting targets down the field. Yep. But Lisa, you know I love you and let me see what's his, I don't want to get the names mixed up. Joel, right? Ain't that your son? Ain't it Joel? Guys, if I'm completely wrong, let me know. But yes, no Waddle. So these are the guys that you need to be getting off your roster. These 5 guys: Austin Ekeler, JC, bro. Okay, thank you, J. Okay, bro. Okay, so yeah, you've been following me for a long time. I didn't know. Okay, all right. Thank you, JC. My bad. My bad. So Jaylen Waddle, Kenneth Walker, Jerome Ford, Mark Andrews. I was gonna say, right. You good, Joel? Mark Andrews and Austin Ekeler. All right, so let's get to the comments. How many people we got in here? Okay, guys, we got 52 people here. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Let's get the likes up. Jay Moore says, had a good week. Thanks for advising me to keep JCM. Yes, sir. Gabe Barker says, I don't know I ever but won half my leads last year. Appreciate your help, bro. Anytime, bro. If you let me know. Yeah, you good. Joel says, what up, TD? Hey, Barker says, yes, sir. Tell him. Joel says, won my matchup even with Worthy and Devontae Smith thanks to Lamar. And there we go. This is another teaching moment. That's why I always tell y'all to go with the top quarterbacks, the top 2. Listen, I lost to Josh Allen in 3 leagues, and I was like the 3rd highest scoring guy. I had Chuba on every single team I had. Alvin, my team played great, except for a couple like Xavier Worthies and a couple Matthew Goldens. I had some low points. Well, other than that, I was killing it. But guess what? I can't catch Gone. If I didn't have Lamar, Josh killed me. He lapped me. So that's why I was telling y'all, and I'm telling y'all next year, going into next year, take Lamar and Josh Allen in the 2nd round. Because if you don't, this is what can happen to you in the playoffs. You can have a great, Chuba balled out, and CMC and all these guys ball out, and then Josh Allen goes for 45 points, 50 points, and he triple. Now, I say you had your quarterback went for 17, which is a decent week, and then Josh goes for 4 or 5 touchdowns. You have no chance to win that week unless everybody does on his side of the team. He's already got 3 of your guys covered up and more points. He beaten 3 of your guys by 5 points. That's why I always say, go get your quarterback early, right? But you don't have to. But if you don't, you better stud out your team. I studied out a couple teams, and I still couldn't win because of the wide receivers like Xavier Worthy and Matthew Goldman, which hopefully it won't happen again, but it happens. George says, won my matchup even with Worthy and Devontae Smith out. Right. What's good, Ricky Bobby? He said, what's good, TD? Exploring Escapades. What's up? He said, hey, bro, what's up? What's going on? RG says, hit me up for the lives, bro. I got you. Just make sure you text me and remind me all throughout the day. Jay Moore says, I have 2 bench players worth dropping for depth. Drake May or Thornton Jr. Have Knicks as a starter. Okay, I have 2 bench players worth dropping for depth. Drake May or Thornton Jr. I don't know what you got at quarterback. Jay Moore, because I don't think you should have 2 good quarterbacks. So why is Drake May worth dropping? If this is a single quarterback league, why would you have... I get it. Now, if you got Lamar and then you went to Drake, that's fine. So I would tell you, if you got Lamar and then you got Drake May, then drop Thornton Jr. and make a move. Worth dropping for depth. But it depends on who you picking up for Thornton Jr. It better be somebody elite, bro. Don't drop Thornton Jr. and go pick up some trash, right? Make sure it's a good player that you're picking up. Father 3 says 70% list is looking like 80%. Respect, bro. Thank you. Thank you, bro. I feel good about my list, man, because going forward, right? Listen, and I want to let y'all know, and I say no matter what, if CMC goes down, if CMC goes down in week 14, I'm not taking that loss. I'm going to say that was a good year. But even for me, I take 6 weeks. But if he goes down in 6 weeks, I say, I could have done something better. But I still like renting CMC to get whatever I can get out of him because he's always going to be number 1, number 2, number 3. Jay Moore says, I'm going to miss out on that out on Coleman. Any other wide receiver adds? Yes. Cedric Tillman. I like Cedric Tillman. He's a number 2 wide receiver on that team, but he's a more like a wide receiver 3 flex guy. But he's going to have some good games between a floor with 10 points. Because he's going to get those targets between 10 and 15 points. That's what I'm okay with him with as a good game. If he go anything above that, that's it's extraordinary. So I like Cedric Tillman. See, listen, Gabe Barker. He already telling you. Keon Coleman, you ain't gonna get him. Troy Franklin. That was my sleeper of the year. I was not sleeper of the year, but it's a sleeper guy that I was telling people to pick up. Michael Pittman. And I ain't gonna sit there and say I was on no Michael Pittman, but he's the number 1 wide receiver. So if he's out there anyway, pick him up. And Quentin Johnson. But Quentin Johnson is spotty. He's not gonna do this every week. So don't go pick up no Quentin Johnson and drop a guy like Dante Thornton because you think Quentin Johnson is going to have that every week. Now, listen, can Quentin Johnson finish as a top 24 wide receiver at a max? He could, but I would not depend on him right now unless he changes his trajectory of his career as a guy that can give you a nice floor. I don't think he has a floor. I think he could give you 0 points. So be careful with going with Quentin Johnson. But those are the wide receivers I think people should be going to. Johnny says Dak is garbage. I don't think he's garbage. He's not garbage. He's not garbage. He's been, what, the number 1 quarterback in fantasy before. Number 2 quarterback in fantasy before. Yeah, I want to. Okay. Johnny says Dak needs to be in arena football. Hey, that's your opinion, brother. I respect it. Ricky Bobby says, thanks, TD. I got Dak to stack with CD. I'm a hole. Yes. Johnny Dollahide says Dak needs to be. Okay, we did that one. Jay Young says, man, I cannot handle Pickens. I get it. He should be a wide receiver 3. If you depending on him, it's not going to be great. I like to get certain guys. I don't like Worthy. I wasn't depending on Worthy, but I'm depending on Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry, and Lamar, and Brock Bowers. Those are the guys that I'm depending on, the anchors of my team. I'm never going to depend on no Quentin Johnson, no Pickens. That's why I didn't draft Jamar Chase early, because I didn't want to depend on him. And I'm not going to sit here and clap and pat my back today over on Jamar Chase, because I told all of you, listen, I don't want to. I get it if you want to take Jamar, but I'm not taking Jamar Chase. Because you have to depend on a wide receiver in this, it feels bad. But look at Bijan Robinson, where he only had 25 yards, but he still, off that one play, he still got there. Where a wide receiver got to count on his quarterback. And if I'm playing against the Cincinnati, I'm not going to let Jamar Chase beat me. If you're going to be able to do that or not, I don't know. Jay Moore says, I'm going to be patient with Henderson as my flex, or should I pivot to JC? Be patient with Henderson. And as the season, as the week goes on, bro, let me know. And let me see your whole squad, and I'll help you out. But, bro, come a member of the channel. It ain't nothing but $1, bro. That way I can, because I ain't going to be able to do a lot of that ranking, because I'm not going to do it today. If anybody in here that's not a member of the channel, if you ask me to rate your team, I'm not doing it. I told y'all to sign up as a member. And if you new, just sign up as a member. I have $1 tier for that. That way you can get your team ranked, or I can give you some trade suggestions. Other than that, I'm going to read a short, quick comment out and keep it moving. But yeah, be patient with Henderson. He has top 5 upside. Jay Young says, huge Georgia fan. Lived in Georgia all my life. Pickens too much ridiculousness. I respect it, man. You from Georgia. Y'all know. George says, would you go a trade for Sutton? Depends on who you got. I've been offered him, but not sure what to offer. Give me a couple targets, a couple guys that you got that you willing to go and trade. Would you trade for that you willing to go and get Sutton for? Give me a couple guys, because it ain't. Some guys might have better upside in him, but he's a safe play. Hey, with Pittman, what's up, bro? Glad to see you here, guys. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. This is cutting edge content. Let's get the likes up. Gabe Barker says, I'm a Samson fan, even with Judkins. I am too, bro. In a PPR format, I am. I agree with that. But Judkins is going to get some goal line carries, too. So he's going to be fine. At least it's a TD. Lamar and Henry carried me to a victory in 2 leagues. Way to go. I told y'all that was a good combo, man. Let me ask y'all this right now, and I'm not gonna be able to get to the comments right now because I don't want to lose my side. But tell me who talked about squeezing or getting or stacking with Lamar and Derrick Henry. Nobody was talking about that stack. I don't want to. Are you crazy? Because what if Lamar has a bad game and you can automatically lose your week? Well, I'd like to see how many times that happen. I'd like to see how many times that happen. So congratulations, Lisa. Thank you for trusting me on that one. Thank you for trusting me on that. Guys, I got in a dynasty team. Don't y'all know I got Lamar, Derrick Henry, CMC, Chuba, Alvin. I got that on a dynasty team because I traded for King Henry and CMC when people thought it was crazy. And listen, we still got a long way to go, so I'm not patting my back. Just week one, because if I had my week one would have went bad, I had to come in here and explain all this. Big Will in the house. I say Big Will in the house. Watch your mouth. Chris says the Lions offense is terrible without Ben Johnson. They did not use Gibbs and Monty correctly. Listen, it's over for Monty. He ain't cooked, but it's over for him there. This team is transforming. I've been telling y'all that, guys. Are y'all listening? If you waiting on Montgomery to score with no Ben Johnson and waiting for them to share it like they've been doing, come on, guys. You thinking 2 years ago. That stuff is not happening. Jameer has to take over this team. No, Monty will be getting some carries. Don't get it twisted. But it's not going to be, like, Monty's not going to be no top 12 running back this year. You can counsel that. Monty is not going to be no top 12 running back this year. So it's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs, and Monty might have a few weeks where you put him in and he was solid. But this team ain't built the same. This team going to have to push the ball downfield and make plays with Jamison Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra. This team ain't, Sam Laporta had a good game last week, and I didn't draft any Sam Laporta, so, who knows? Maybe David Montgomery can have a good next week, but they got to give Gibbs the ball because they're going to be losing now. So what David Montgomery coming in to do when they losing? They need somebody to catch a pass and take it 60. What Amon-Ra going to do when they need somebody to go for a deep threat? That's why I wanted Jahmyr Gibbs and Jamison Williams. Jay Moore says Ibuka and Tyler Warren to the moon. And I also predicted 2 touchdowns. Thoughts on Godwin coming back? It ain't nothing to think about with Godwin. I won't be surprised if at the end of the year they trade him. Ibuka is him. So they need some young wide receivers. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin is going to get phased out of this offense eventually. Probably next year, a year and a half, 2 years at the max. So Ibuka is him. Warren, great job, guys. I wasn't talking a lot about Warren, but eventually I did mention him, say, listen, this is a tight end that you can wait late on. It's a lot of tight ends that you can wait late on. Britton Strange, I talked about him. I talked about Tyler Warren. I talked about David Njoku. And I'm still not getting off no David Njoku just because Harold Fannin had a good game. We got a new member in the building. Paolo, what's up, bruh? Appreciate you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. DeAndre Swift season says Puka going to be the #1 wide receiver if he stays healthy, bruh. That's why, I was scared about Puka because Matthew Stafford, and that's the only thing that holds me back off of Puka is Matthew Stafford back. I thought a couple times he got sacked. I was worried about it. But as long as Matthew Stafford stays healthy and Puka can stay healthy, Puka plays the game like a kamikaze guy. He doesn't care, and that's what makes him great. But it can end in one play. Right, he could be out for 2 or 3 weeks because the way he plays the game. But don't be scared with Puka. You got Puka, you keep playing Puka. You know that, but don't trade him because he might get hurt. It is what it is. If you draft players, you got to already know what comes with that bag, right? That's how I draft. When I drafted CMC, I already knew that he was injury prone. I'm ready for the injury. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. And I'm going to keep saying that. I want y'all guys to be able to, you drafted who? Nico? Nico went out with a hamstring? Yeah, TD, I already knew. Like you told me. I already knew that. I'm not worried about that. I got another wide receiver, TD. That's how I want y'all to play fantasy. Don't be worried about nothing. I ain't worried about nothing. Don't be worried. I don't be worried about nothing. Because I know now if CMC would have played bad and and they getting blitzed and he can't get the ball and fumbling and Lamar is out there throwing 3 picks, that's different. But that ain't happening. That ain't happening. The Chris says the Lions offense is terrible. Okay, we did that one already. Jay Moore says Ibuka and Tyler Warren, we did that one already too. Brandon Johnson, what's up, Brandon? Brandon says, I'm a Browns fan. Ford is horrible and can't hit a hole to save his life. Noah, so you got to let him go. I think it's time to let him go. Looks like another fantasy TKO. Y'all don't know nothing about that. That's that Looker House music. That's my age showing. If anybody know what that song is, let me know. I will not super, but I cash app you. I cash app you $1 if you can tell me where I got that song from. Ricky Bobby says, what to do with George Brittle? I will hold on. You definitely got to hold on to him. But it's several tight ends to go to. You can go to Britton Strange. You can go to Juwan Johnson. I'm not going to Jonnu Smith, but Slick Rick loves Jonnu Smith. So I got to be fair to that. And Tyler Warren. If Tyler Warren out there, I would go and spend a bunch of fab to get Tyler Warren if I need a tight end. So George Kittle, just hold him and stash him, put him in IR. If you can't, just hold him on your bench. You cannot drop George Kittle. George Kittle was on his way to be a great tight end this season. But we always know that he get hurt. He's a great blocker. He's going to stay in the trenches. That's him. That's why he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Slick Rick says, at Walker's draft price, it's too early to drop him. Just go to church and pray if you drafted Walker. Rashik says, did you say drop Caleb Johnson? No, I didn't say to drop him, but if you can, depending on what you need to pick up. It depending on what you need to pick up. If you need to pick up somebody, I would like to stash him a little bit in case something happens to Jaylen Warren. But if nothing happens, man, I don't know if Caleb was gonna get the workload that you want if something did even happen. So that's my 2 cents on that. So drop him. Let me know who you're trying to pick up. Don't hold on him for just to hold on to him because you heard about him as a rookie. We got a super chat from Joel himself. Thank you, bruh. He says, should I be worrying about Nico Collins with how the Texans offense is looking? No, but it depends on what you're trying to do. If you want to trade Nico for a tear down guy, like say you want to get rid of Nico for Rashid Rice and Brian Thomas or something like that, right? Something in that type of way, like a receiver that's good. He wasn't drafted in the first round, but he had a good week and he was drafted in the 4th round. But you're going to get him and a really solid piece to come together, a 2-for-1 deal, then you can get rid of Nico. Other than that, you just got to be patient and play him every single week because ain't no other guy on that team. Now, this is what I do believe. I do believe that Tyreek Hill could get traded there. Not saying it's going to happen, but Tyreek Hill could get traded. They need another wide receiver. And Tyreek is the type of guy who can help your offensive line out because you're not going to blitz with Tyreek Hill like that because if he beat you quick, it's over. It's to the crib. So that makes the defense not blitz as much. And the problem with the Houston Texans is they can't handle the blitz. Their offensive line is getting their offensive line is allowing immediate pressure, which is making C.J. Stroud not be able to look downfield. So that's the thing about that. So I will hold on to Nico. Got another super chat from Big Will in the house. He says, lost my first league because the use of Jamar Chase, but got a win in my other league. Thanks, bro. You do a lot. Thank you. And you're going to be fine. You chose to go with Jamar Chase. I'm not going to sit here and chastise you over no Jamar Chase. That's a perennial player. But I would have rather went with like a B. John Robinson or somebody like that. That's just me this year. I'm learning a lot. I learn every year in fantasy, and I like going 0 RB, but it's got to make sense for my team. Appreciate you, big bruh. Yes, sir. Gabe Barker said he's dead. What you dead over, Gabe? What happened? What you laughing at? Let me know what you laughing at, bruh. I'm gonna get to the comments later. I don't want to scroll down and lose my spot. JC said, I'm in big trouble in my 1K league. Okay, I lost Kittle and have Tracy in my lineup. It's 12-team, no kicker or defense league with 2 flexes. No good players at all on the waivers. Okay, that's okay. Let me know what tight end that you have. It's a couple tight ends like Likely or somebody. We can even go deeper than that. Hurl Fan and somebody's out there for you to replace Kittle with. You'll be okay. Even the backup for San Francisco, you can use him. The guy that came in and had some crazy catches. So you can find somebody, and Tracy, I would say keep playing Tracy. If it's nothing out there on the waivers, don't drop him. You don't want to give nothing for nobody to stash on. So I would keep playing Tracy if you have to. But I don't know what else is out there, bro. Hit me up with some more questions through the chat. And listen, you are a member of the channel, so I'll break down your team and we'll keep moving through it. I got you. If you need a consultation, I'm here too, man. I don't know what tier you on, but I give great discounts. Like Joel says, anyone can get injured, right? Ricky Bobby says, you signed up for this, TD. I know, bruh. I know. It's okay. You right. That's big facts right there. That's big facts. But you know, I go back and forth with my members. Y'all know I don't mind going back and forth with y'all. That's cool. We all, you know, it's all fun and games. So y'all supposed to do this. Y'all supposed to give me hell. Y'all super chat. Y'all donate to the channel. You do all of that. So I don't care. Y'all can come to my restaurant and complain about the food because you always eat my food. So touche. But I don't. What gets me where I be coming at people, they get in here, don't know nothing about my channel and start taking shots at me. And that's what I signed up for that too. Touche, Ricky Bobby. Gabe Barker says I'm not dropping Caleb Johnson yet. Yeah, I wouldn't if I don't have to. Tron says CMC is back. Yes, sir. What up, Thomas? What up, bruh? You right. Henry was better than CMC, but I think it's 1 and 2. Remember that list? Y'all remember my running back rankings right before the season started? The guy came on and said, hey, these old running backs. And one of my guys said, hey, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. And I haven't seen them. All those CMC, Henry was the older guys, and they the number 1 running backs. Over Jahmyr Gibbs, over B. John. Gabe Walker says, not Tracy fault. That O-line is cheeks. I agree with that. I agree with that. But we still trying to get fantasy points. All right, guys, I got to see. Okay, guys, we got 31 likes. We got 50 people in the chat. Let's get the likes up. C.A. Jefferson says, watching these games, I'm like, dang, TD was like 90% spot on. Thank you, C.A. That's what I said, too. I only missed on like a couple players. Like, what player did I miss on? I'm trying, guys, let me know. Like, I'm really trying to think, because there's a couple guys that I missed on. Xavier really got hurt, though. He was about the ball. So, I'm just thinking. Matthew Golden was a rookie wide receiver. I said he was a start on some teams. So that I take that loss. J-Mo and Matthew Golden are probably my only misses for week 1. J-Mo and all. I told y'all to go robust RB. Robust RBs is the way. Jamar Chase had a bad game. Not because I said he was going to have a bad game. He sucked. It's because I don't want to trust a Joe Burrow had to throw him the ball 15 times to be the number 1 player. Appreciate that, C.A. Jefferson's Cal. What's up, Cal Seabert? He says, I double-stacked Allen with Shakir, right? Like I told you. See? Let's go. I was down bad. Now I'm up 15. I have the Bears defense, and my opponent has Jefferson. Do you think I win? Yes, brother. I'm going to go with it. My opponent has Jefferson. You know that the Bears defense, that secondary was the top 3 defense in the secondary. They got an elite corner there. So, not saying it's going to stop Justin Jefferson, but remember, he got J.J. McCarthy. That's a young quarterback. He can't hyper-target him in a real game. But he going to have to learn how to hyper-target him. So it takes a little bit of time. But yeah, bro, I remember you asked, you said, TD, who do I play? And you named out about 5 wide receivers, and you said, what about Shakir and Coleman? I said, bro, you're going to have to play both to squeeze to get the best. So forget those other guys. And you did that, bro. Way to stay with the trajectory. Way to stay strong. To me, that's the best way to play fantasy. It's not picking the best players. It's just being consistent for whatever you own. Jay Moore says Drake May or Fields rest of the season. Man, you got to go with Fields today. I can't disrespect Fields today. That might be the only player that I wasn't on that I didn't tell y'all to draft. And I won't make a trade video. I probably would trade away Garrett Wilson. That's just me. I'm not telling y'all to do it. I would trade away Garrett Wilson. It's too volatile over there. It looks like Justin Fields going to be Justin Fields for the rest of his career. Hopefully that happens. But if he go and give me 5 points next week and I was to go and have him on my team, I would be pissed knowing that I traded for him. I thought he was going to break out. Or have Garrett Wilson and I count on Garrett Wilson to be elite. But can it happen? Hell yeah, it can happen. Don't get it twisted. Just because I said I'm not getting, don't mean it can't happen. So I'm gonna say Fields. I still like Drake May. 1A says Mark Andrews didn't look good. Stats Isaiah likely. Big facts. Tron says CMC put up all those points without any TDs. I thought he had one, but maybe he didn't. Thomas says Austin Ekeler banged up. We starting Bill this Thursday night, Green Bay. Let's go, Thomas. Yes, sir. Gabe Barker says, okay, he was talking to Fields. Slick Will says Fields is greater than May. Yes, right now he is. Yes. Rishi says, any RB3 on waivers? Yeah, so here's some RBs that I'm talking about. You got Dylan Sampson. And that's about it. Dylan Sampson might be the only guy that you can get off waivers, man. Running backs, ain't nobody on running back. I mean, ain't nobody on waivers, bro, when it comes to running backs. Unless it's some guy way out there that we never expected to play. So it's hard to find running backs on the waivers. But the only guy that I can say is Dylan Sampson. Other than that, I don't know who's out there as an RB3. Kyle Siebert says, thanks for your feedback on the weekend. The double stack was a success. Bills, Allen, Coleman, Shakir. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get the likes up, fellas, for one of the best fantasy football channels out here. Let's get the likes up for him. Lisa says, every week we're going to compare CMC to Henry. She trying to get that win, bro. She know that Henry going to whoop CMC. Henry going to be killing for the rest of the year. Henry going for 2,000. And I'm going to tell y'all something else. And if you, I got a few guys in here I know it's going to do it, and y'all going to win big-time money. Go bet on Derrick Henry to win the rushing title. Go bet on Derrick Henry to win the rushing title. Not for this year, for the Emmitt Smith title, right? For all-time rushing. Derrick Smith is going to break it. Derrick Smith is going to break that record. Thomas says, is Ollie Gordon a hole? Yes, sir. With this going on with this team, you can't drop no Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon might be one of the best things that they can have, especially when they start trading Tyreek and Tua have another bad game. Ollie Gordon, they're going to have to run the game. This team is going to have to change from passing the ball a lot to running the ball because of this offensive line. So they're going to get rid of Tyreek because that's going to be an overpaid wide receiver that's only getting 7 to 8 targets. He got to get 10 to 12 so that you trade Tyreek and you run the ball with Devon A. Chain and Ollie Gordon. So hold on to Ollie Gordon. I disagree with you on that, JC. Tua was never good. JC says Tua was never good. I disagree with that. Tua is he got a quick release, and he's very, very accurate. But I'm going to tell you, when you got a quick release and you're very, very accurate, you got to be able to stand in that pocket and take the hit. And what I'm saying, guys, y'all, it's called staring down the gun pipe. You see somebody coming, you know they're going to hit you in your ribs or they're going to knock you out, right? Not knock you out, but knock you down, and it's going to hurt. But you got to stand there to deliver that ball with anticipation. And Tua is one of the best at it. But when he got the last two, not the first couple, the last two has derailed his career. He's scared to stay. You see him doing that? Somebody coming, he throwing it up. Bro, no, you just take the hit. But he don't want his head to do this. He don't want his head to do that. So he's going on his shoulder, and I don't want that Tua, and I don't want the Miami Dolphins outside of A-Chain. I still love Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's still gonna be special. Make sure you have him. Go buy low on him for when he gets traded. This is a great opportunity, a great chance to go buy low on him. But hey, what did I know? Slick Rick says, I got A-Chain in the second, and I'm a little worried about him. Yes, you should be a little worried about him, but listen, you got him in the second, so you stuck with him. Now, if he have another good game, you might could trade, but I don't want you to go trade for no terrible player that ain't gonna got his upside. He still got upside. So I agree, man. You should be a little bit worried about it, Slick, but he's gonna be okay. Because it's Devon A-Chain. We just need him to stay healthy. That's the main thing. He might have a couple dud games where he gave you 8 points, but he's going to have a couple 25-point games too. So just stay steadfast. Brandon Roberts says their coach should be fired. I love Mike McDaniels. I think it's Tua that's bringing everybody down. It's Tua. It's not Mike. It's not Tyreek. It's Tua. It's not the offense. It's Tua. He's not the same player that he was. He has this in practice. He can be that, but in a game where he don't want to get a concussion, he's scared to get a concussion. You can't play quarterback scared to get a concussion. Thomas says, in case A-Chain goes down, right? I still would keep Gordon. King of Fantasy Football, what's up, bro? He said, I told y'all about Fannin Jr., so pick him up. Yes. But I don't think he's going to out-target no David Njoku. I think he's okay to stash, but I would not go pick him up as my tight end and start him as for the rest of the season. But if you want to start him just for this week, just to see if it's going to keep going, there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. It's week 2. But if you think that he's going to overtake Njoku, that's when I would completely disagree with you, King of Fantasy. But I don't think you're saying that. I think Fantasy just going to have a good role where he's going to have some breakout games. And we know how Fanning was, how he moves with the ball like a running back. He's kind of like Jonas. He's a baby Jonnu Smith. Maybe better in the passing game, maybe. JC says, I'm a Fins fan. We could have had Herbert. No Alabama quarterback side ever been good. Right, and I understand when people talk about the school, but yeah, that's the why they missed it. It was the Herbert. And that was because of Brian Flores, I believe. No, Brian Flores wanted Herbert, but somebody else wanted Tua. Aaron Holloway says Tua is trash for real. He ain't trash, guys. It's the injury. I get what you're saying. Trash is trash, but it ain't just because something broke and I broke the glass table, that whole frame got to be thrown away. But that don't mean it's trash. Somebody else can take the frame, right? So Tua ain't trash. It's his injury history that's trash. Nifty says Water can never stay healthy. Yeah, he hasn't his whole career. Ocean View Coffee Shop. He says the running backs were mid week 1. What? What do you mean, bro? They outdid the wide receivers. Now Justin Jefferson come in this week and help, but CeeDee Lamb was average. Jerry Jeudy was average. Brian Thomas was average. Nico was average. Amon-Ra was average. But James Cook 8. CMC 8. Alvin Kamara 8. It's a few more running backs at 8. Bijan Robinson 8. Chuba Hubbard 8. James Conner 8. I totally disagree with that, Ocean View, but appreciate you being here, man. Subscribe to the channel. This is cutting edge content, bro. At least his Tua is cooked. I like that you say he's cooked. I think he is cooked where he can't play in the game anymore because of his mentality. I do agree with that. Kyle says, you called a double stack and it was success. Go Bills, go Allen, and Shakir. Yes, sir, Kyle. Jay Moore says, should I remain to roster Ollie Gordon? Yes, sir. And Anton D said, why Tua cooked? Because of his concussion history. That's why he's cooked. C.A. Jefferson said, McDaniels getting Waddle smacked every game. Right. He needs to be running. But you know why McDaniels is doing that? Because Tua can't throw the ball. He's not staying in the pocket long enough for Waddle to throw the ball deep. So now they got to run him underneath, and people are teeing off on Tyreek. You see, he got hurt a little bit, and they teeing off on Waddle. And that's not, those guys are smaller wide receivers. They need to be throwing the ball deep to those guys. C.A. Jefferson thinks it's the coaching. I don't. I think it's the concussions, like Gabe Barker is saying. Rashid says, is wide receiver in the flex just as good as a running back? It depends. If it's a high-end guy who got some upside, yeah. But I would rather go with the running backs who's going to get the goal line carries. If I got a running back and he's getting goal line carries, I'd rather go with him than a wide receiver that's getting 4 or 5 targets. Now, if he's getting 8 targets, it just depends on how I feel about him. It depends from week to week. Too Easy says, Genty will see more look later in the season. Yes, go buy low on Genty. If you got A-Chain and you can get Genty, I don't think that's a bad move. Genty's going to get better as the season. That's why I told y'all, hold off on drafting them, but you can trade for him. So right now, you can trade for Genty. If he has a big game next week, you might not be able to trade for him at all. Slickwick says, I got Ollie, and I may drop him if A-Chain goes down. That team ain't doing this. You probably right, but I still take a running back who's getting 15 or 20 carries to put him in my flex. Kyle Sieber says, I double stacked Allen and Shakir and Coleman. I was down bad. Now I'm up 15 and I have the Bears defense opponent. Right. Yes, sir, bro. Lisa says, I love you. No JC. Right. She was saying no, it's JC. It's not Joel. Thank you. But the JC is confusion, right? 1-8 says CMC scored 20+ points in my league, even with no touchdown. He's coming back, and with Kittle hurt, he'll be the GOAT next week. Hopefully, man, dear Father, please don't let CMC go down with an injury. Thank you, God. Like, pray, right? I'm praying that he don't go down. And if he does, I'm not going to get upset and whatever, but I don't want him to go down because I want to build a brand, and I told y'all to draft him. I don't know how many of you really did it, but I told y'all to do it, right? I'm put a little bit of chapstick on, guys. Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all guys being here. Cutting edge content. Uh-oh, here you go. Bruh, I've been okay, let's go. I ain't got nothing to say about it. I see you, D-Lion. We gonna go get on it. Conscious Machine said, hey, y'all, what's up, Conscious? Here go D-Lion. He says, the name we don't speak of, say his name. I'm not saying his name. I'm not going to say his name. But this is what I'm going to ask you, though, D-Lion. If he win Comeback Player of the Year or he go and wins like he's all-pro or something like that, after what we said about Daniel, because we just didn't say he had a bad year. That's why this is the chastisement, right? I never said Baker sucked. I just said I don't want Baker on my team. Never said Baker suck. I never said, I probably said two. Y'all know me. I've only probably said two players suck. I don't say players suck because I know on the right situation and the right team, they can prevail. So if you said this particular quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, if he sucked, you can't come back off of that because you said he sucked. You didn't say, you can't say no, but you can't say a woman is ugly, but then you date her a year later. I'm gonna destroy you. I'm gonna be like, bro, you said she was ugly. Well, bro, it was the hairstyle and she picked up a little weight. No, bro, you said she was ugly. You didn't say that she needs to lose some weight and she could be cuter. You didn't say Daniel Jones needs to work on his pocket presence. I don't think you said it, D-Lion. You don't really say players suck either. But as far as the consensus, a lot of people said that he sucked. So I want to hold you accountable for that. Not because I've been waiting on it, because I don't know players don't suck. I don't say nobody. I haven't said nobody sucked. Maybe just a few players. Conscious says, you hilarious too, D-Line. You hilarious. Bro, where you been? You ain't been showing support to the channel lately. Is it because of that player? Is it because of that player? I'm just picking with you, bro. But Conscious says, Worthy and Kittle need I say more. Man, Kittle, yeah, but Worthy, he ran into his own player. Injuries happen. It happens. JC said, I have Josh Allen still going lose unless I get 37 from DJ and Thielen tonight. Right. Who else you got on your team, JC? Let me know who else you got outside of Josh Allen, because I like to see that. Conscious says, but I did draft Fields, Penix, Warren, Pearsall. Good job, bro. You know you always a good drafter, Conscious. You've been on Jahmyr Gibbs before anybody was. Not saying we all knew he was a first-round pick and stuff, far as coming out as a rookie, but you were saying that he's going to be elite, one of the top guys in the league, and you right, bro. You the best too, Elisa. I appreciate you. That's why I chastise you. If I didn't think you could handle it or we wasn't friends, I wouldn't even say anything about it. I was like, nah, I just want to keep her as a subscriber, right? But no, iron go sharpen iron. I want to teach you not to panic. I'm type of person that, listen, knock on wood, if I'm on a plane and we shaking, I'm nervous now. I'm not in my element. I'm scared of heights. I'm not in my element then. But in fantasy, I'm relaxed the whole time. I'm relaxed because this is my stuff, right? I know this. Anton says, I beat Josh and I have Hurts. Yeah, you had Hurts, though. You had Hurts. And that's one guy that I wasn't on. And I didn't tell a lot of you to draft him. If you drafted him, that's a great job. Because I do think Hurts would have some upside. But hopefully he don't go through no bad spell where a couple weeks where he's not getting that upside. This is a facts. Lamar carried me to wins in 2 leagues. Yes, sir. Slick Rick says, I'm playing against the team that has Lamar, and I'm beating the brakes off them. I would like to see what else they picked. Kyle says, I had Pickens, Worthy, and Kittle, but Josh Allen, Shakir, and Coleman saved me. You were right about the double stack. Thank you. Anytime, bro. Jeff, what's up, bro? He says, good show, Titty. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Appreciate you. Jonathan Santiago says, got offered Waddle plus Walker for Tyreek Hill. No. They giving you them garbage players, bro, for him. And I'm not calling Waddle garbage, and I don't even want to call Walker garbage. But I'm not taking him for Tyreek Hill. They trying to get that upside. He's going to get traded. That's what they trying to hope for. I wouldn't do it, bro. Exit 17 says, how did I get here from watching a guy wearing a poop toilet? Hey, that's hilarious, bro. I don't know how did you get here, but I appreciate you being here. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It's cutting edge content. Brandon Roberts says, I won even though A.J. Brown went, where's Waldo? Right. No, and I told people not to draft A.J. Brown. Tron says, I dropped Hollywood and Sampson last week to pick up a defense and a kicker. Would you drop Ekeler and Garendo to pick up the players on the waiver wire? Yes, I would. I would drop Ekeler and Garendo. I would rather not drop Garendo, but I don't mind doing it if I have to, right? I would not drop Ekeler because he's but he is injured, but he does have like some type of role. So I don't want nobody else to pick him up and play him in the flex, and he has two Javonte Williams game, and he ends up beating me because he got lucky. That's the only thing about Ekeler. But Garendo, no. Brian Robinson is that guy. Something's going on with Garendo. He has a bad injury or something. Because Garendo played good without Seal last year. And for them to go get Brian Robinson says that Garendo is not going to be healthy probably for the whole season. Conscious Machine says Fields would be a top 5 quarterback, 4-point pass and touchdown scoring. But bro, I can't disagree with you. That's another guy that I did not have. I didn't have no Fields. Gabe Barker says, yes, sir. Big Will says, I learned not to hit the panic button whenever a player gets injured. I believe I drafted well enough for the next man up. Come on, Big Will. Hey, bro, hey, you an extension of the channel. You are an extension of the channel. And the reason why you are an extension of the channel, bro, you pay attention to the videos, you watch them all, and you know how that's why it ain't just you said you're not going to panic, but you believe in drafting, and that's what we do here at Fantasy Good Sports. We draft really, really well. That's what we do. All right, guys, let me, I got to move the camera around a little bit because the battery is going dead, but we not get out of this live. I just got to move it around a little bit. Okay. Okay, hopefully it don't fall down like that. But I got a super chat from Paula. Paula says quarterback Hurts, Fields, wide receiver Nico, Drake, Sutton, Tillman, Shaheed, Wandale, Hollywood, Chuba, Tracy, Caleb Johnson, Benson, tight end Njoku. Trey Hurts to upgrade a RB. Yes, I would do that. There you go. See, you go. Everybody want Hurts. Fields, you can get some for Fields, but not what you can get for Hurts. So what RB you already got? You already got Chuba. I think you could get Fields. I mean, you can get Hurts. You can get an Alvin Kamara type. Who else would I want? You can get Alvin, James Conner, and like if you go down to James Conner, you can get 2 pieces. Try to get a 2-for-1 if you go to James Conner. James Conner and Alvin Kamara are not bad picks, even though they're not like the top guys. So you could take Hurts and go get you. I said Alvin Kamara, Omari Hampton. Yes, I said what I said at Omari and Hampton. I would do it for Cooks, James Cooks. I would do it for RJ Harvey in another piece. RJ Harvey in another piece. I'm just looking around for you. Would I trade Jalen Hurts for Jakari, for Bob or Bill and another piece? Yes, I would. So I think you're making the right move by trying to use Hurts to go get the guy. But this is what I would tell you: when you get the trade, Paula, and somebody offered, go to my comment section. I will be paying attention. I will, because you super chatted for this. I will be paying attention, and I'll let you know if that's the right. I'm like, yeah, go ahead and do that. You can put it on any comment on any video, or you can also go to email me too and say, hey, this is Paula that super chatted, and I told you this team, and I wanted to try to trade to get another running back. This is what I've got right now, and I got you, bro. Appreciate you. Hopefully that helped you out. Let me know in the chat if that helped you out or not. I'd go back over it again if I need to and be more and clarify more. Super chat from Joel. What's up, bro? I appreciate y'all guys. Love y'all guys. He says, for Sutton, I would either give up Warren, Krosky Merritt, Devontae Smith, or even a 2-for-1, including Nico Collins. What you thinking? For Sutton. So you trying for Sutton. So you trying to get Sutton? Or you got Sutton and you trading for Sutton? I would give up either. I think you trying to get him. I mean, you are already got Sutton. Earlier when I read it, I think you said you already had Sutton. But let me finish reading. Devontae Smith or even a 2-for-1, including Nico Collins. What you think? With Worthy out, I'm considering all wide receivers. Okay. I would either give up Warren, Karski, married Devontae Smith, or even a 2-for-1, including Nico Collins. I would definitely try to get Nico Collins if I wanted another wide receiver and another like a 2-for-1 with a Nico and another lesser tier guy. But I'm trying to think it's a couple wide receivers that I really like that I think you can get. Go to the waiver wire first and get Cedric Tillman. Definitely Keon Coleman, but I think you said you couldn't get Keon. He's gone. But if you can get Keon Coleman, I would definitely try to get Keon Coleman, Cedric Tillman, or Michael Pittman. So this is what I would say. Try to get Michael Pittman in another piece because people are still kind of worried about Michael Pittman and Daniel Jones. I said the name. So try to go get Michael Pittman in another piece if you're giving up. If I got the question wrong, bro, let me know, and I will get back to it. Appreciate the super chat, bro. Love you. Let's see here. Sickway said last year Lamar was like 5th, 6th, or later round pick. That's why he was on his way more championship team than Allen was a very early pick. Right. That's big facts. JC says, how much fab you using on Troy Franklin? So let me do 100. Out of $100, I would probably use $10 to $15. $10 to $15. You might want to go by a couple teams and make sure that they don't need no wide receivers. But it's Troy Franklin. Nobody's gonna really be on him like that. So I would say about $10 just to make sure you get him out of 100. So if it was 200, it'd be $5. I mean, it would be $20. I'm sorry. If it was $200, it would be $20 that I would spend on him. Conscious says, yes, Big Will. I drafted Kittle and a backup with Tyler Warren. Great job. 1A says, are you buying the Pitts performance? He had 8 targets. Yes, I'm buying it. Yes, I'm buying it. And I'm going to get him on waivers if he's on waivers. He shouldn't be on waivers, but if he is, yes, I'm going to get that tight end. Pause. Deal Devoted says, cutting edge content anytime, bro. You know it, Deal. I'm coming up there to get that cut in the San Diego, bro. I'm coming to get that cut. I don't know. Tell me what kind of style you gonna give me, bro. Are you gonna take the bun out, do something? Let me know what type of style you gonna give me, bro. And we're gonna do a live there too, man. I'm gonna shoot your channel out. I mean, not your channel, but I'm gonna shoot your business out. Bro, that's how I am. I think I'm cutting edge content. I'm gonna help everybody that's around me. I'm gonna help people grow. If I get to that spot, I'm gonna be like Master P. Master P is the same way, man. Ask Snoop. He had Snoop for 2 more albums. He told Snoop, go ahead, man, do your thing. He let him go. So that's what I want to do. People that are around me that's on their business, I want to be able to help you grow, because y'all help me grow. Gun Award says, I like the Cowboys. I do too, bro. I'm a Cowboy fan too. I wish I had a knife I cut so you can see the blue. I bleed blue. Gabe Barker says, it could be Pitts. I don't feel comfortable with him on my team personally as a massive Florida Gators fan. Yeah, man, you got it. But hey, listen, sometimes you got to see something and you got to make a decision. Make the decision. Me, I'm going with it. He has the pedigree. So that I'm going to feel comfortable going with it. Paolo said, what's up, bro? Should I be worried about Nico and Drake? No. I wouldn't be. Drake had a good game. Drake, you mean Drake London. Okay. Yeah, Drake, no. It's all about the shoulder. Worry about the shoulder injury. Go do your research on the shoulder injury and see how long people are out. Can they play? Can wide receivers extend with it? I wouldn't be worried about anything else about them having a bad week 1. It's about the injury. Nico is going to be fine. Nico is the #1 wide receiver there. Aaron Holloway says, should I trade Chase for someone else? I'm going to say yes. I traded Chase for Alvin Kamara. I got Alvin and a Chuba. I did a 2-for-1, and I got 2. Chase is a tier player. I traded him for 2 B tier guys. Now my team is studded out in the flex. I got those 2 guys in the flex now. So yes, I would trade Chase for a 2-for-1 deal, depending on what you like. JC said, no, Aaron. What you mean? JC? Let me know what you mean by Aaron. I'm sorry if I'm I might have said something earlier and I forgot what I said. Aaron Holloway says, oh, it says no, Aaron. Okay, he's talking to Aaron. Okay, see that. My bad. Miracle Baller says 17 out of 24 this week so far, TD. Channel to the moon. Yes, sir. TD's channel to the moon. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Gabe Barker says, yo, TD, how about the Browns holding the Bengals to 7 yards in the second half and still not being able to pull out the dub? That shows more potential for the Cleveland. It doesn't show anything to me for Cincinnati. They're going to be okay. They're going to figure it out. But it shows that this Cleveland team is ready to win. But guess what? I don't know why they don't want to put Shadur in and let him evolve with this team. I don't know why. I never understand sometimes what the coaches are doing. I don't agree all the time, and maybe I'm wrong sometimes, but damn. Thomas says, coach of the Patriots said today that Henderson is going to get fed the ball more. And of course he is. And I know, Thomas, you know football. You don't need to hear that. Of course he is. Guys, sometimes, man, y'all kill me with, like, say, I don't want to use CMC, but say Derrick Henry would have only got 8 carries. I promise you that a lot of you would have came in. And guess what? That's what I signed up for, right? That's what I signed up for. But a lot of you would have came in here and said, Derrick Henry may struggle. He's getting older, TD. He didn't look as explosive. I promise you would have said that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Henderson is going to be fine. He's going to be a breakout. That's a guy that I will be willing to make a 2-for-1 deal. If you're looking for an RB, and I know the question earlier wasn't an RB. You was looking for a wide receiver. But Hendo, I love Hendo, man. He looked good. I watched the game. I watched it in vacuums. He making moves. He look good. You just got to give him time. They're not going to sit and cut Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson week 1. They veterans. They know how to work. You have to let it happen gracefully because you don't want to lose your team. If your team see that you just going to put a rookie in and they don't earn it, they won't respect you. So you have to let them earn it. You got to let them earn it. And the NFL guys are okay. They will celebrate other guys that beat them out because they let it happen organically. But if you force it, they won't respect you. So that's why they got to let Hendo have it move methodically before they just give him the reins. Jeff Name says, should I start Vikings defense or Bears defense tonight? I would say the Vikings, but I don't feel good about either one of those defense. I think this game could be a New York Jets and Pittsburgh Steelers game where they thinking it's going to be a low-scoring game, but it scores a lot of points because Justin Jefferson's out there, Aaron Jones is out there, and Adam Thielen. He got some good weapons. Adam Thielen's been really good for young quarterbacks. The Bears with Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. I saw Caleb Williams getting better throughout the beginning of preseason and training camp, and he looked like he's getting better. And I know Ben Johnson how he is, what he did with Jared Goff. So I think that this could be a 45 to 50 point game. So be careful with playing any defenses. But if I had to play one, I would play the Vikings because we know Caleb Williams struggled and he takes a lot of sacks. But I just don't see I don't see why I would play the Bears to play against Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen and this good offensive line. Thomas says, coach of the Patriots said today that Henderson is... Okay, we did that one already. Kyle says, big thanks for your feedback. I double stack with the Bills. Yes, sir, bruh. Thank you for putting it in the comment section. Thank you, bruh. Slick Rick says, Henderson doesn't have the offense to let him be top 5. It's like 2 or 3 rookies on that offensive line. Yes, I believe eventually he could be top 5 in a vacuum. Not top 5 for every single game, but remember, we talking about rookies. Remember, Jonathan Taylor wasn't top 5 overall, but from week 8 when he was a rookie he was the number 1 RB. That's what Hendo can do. It's just in a quadrant. He could be the number 1 for the 4th quadrant. Miracle Baller says, double tap the screen to like the channel and subscribe, please. Thank you. Thank you. Gabe Kyle says, get that tongues at the tight end. Hey, I don't know. Pause. That's what I'm gonna say. Pause. Big pause. I don't want to get my channel flagged. Now, but I get it. Yes. I think Tongues had a decent game. Jay Moore says, hopefully Hampton can get more catch opportunities than. That's my only concern about it. Right. But you're gonna have to be patient with him too. It may take him 4 weeks to get going, but I like him going forward. Like, but it's not gonna happen next week where he get 20 carries. You gotta be slow, but you can't wait till where everybody know it. Then it's too late. Then you won't be able to get Hampton. You got to do it early right now when it's kind of like, oh, what do you do? And guys, I move when people are in doubt. That's when I'm moving, and I trust it. I trust it. I don't wait to, hey, Jim Harbaugh said Omarion Hampton is the full starter, and he's cutting Najee Harris. Too late. You're not getting a Hampton. You're not gonna get a Hampton. Not even probably for CMC. If CMC's still healthy, you're not doing it. Miracle Baller Satiti was busting it this week. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Gabe said he'll get the volume. 1A says Rodgers proved he has enough to left in the tank as a back-end starter or a bye week pivot. I'm going to probably let him start for my team. I mean, I got him on a few Superflex teams, so he's starting on my team. What's up, Gunnar Ward? Appreciate you being here. G. Santos says they fed up. They need Monty to wear out the defense. I'm okay with that, but he's not going to get no premium touches. He's not getting no green zone touches like he did in the past. Undercurrent says, you look like my auntie. You have the same hair and big eyes. Thank you, bro. I bet you she's a handsome woman. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, bro. We all family here. Miracle Baller says, truth on Montgomery. Come on now. Punchy1234 says, do you like the NFL player Odell Beckham or he had 3 touchdowns yesterday? I don't know who that is. Punchy says he played for the Steelers. Okay. Rashik says, can I drop Caleb Johnson and Cam Scatterbo? I wouldn't drop Cam Scatterbo, but if you want to drop Caleb Johnson, it's okay. Charlene says, who has Purcell in my league? Me. 49 signed Kendrick Bourne. Good job. Good job, Charlene. Gabe Barker says, no, hold Johnson and Scat. I will hold Scat, and you can hold Johnson, but it depends on what you're trying to do. Gabe says, don't panic after week 1. Big facts. Rashik says, and I can trade Adams for a RB. Okay. What's up, bruh? What's up, Paolo? Miracle Baller says, yes, hold Johnson and Scat a few more weeks, in my opinion, but listen to TD. Yeah, I would hold him for a few more weeks myself, but I'm not gonna hold him, and I can't get to a really good player like Michael Pittman, Cedric Tillman, Keon Coleman, Ja'Cory Krosky. I'm not gonna let him hold me back from getting to these premium waiver wire ads. And I'm gonna consolidate it to 5 guys tomorrow for my video tomorrow. Okay. So Jordan Pillar said it. Teddy Pendergrass. He was the first one to say it. I think I gotta let him go. Looks like another fantasy TKO. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I see you, DeVille. You know you. Hey, Dill Devoted know his music from the West Coast. Maybe y'all listen to that music on the West Coast. Maybe I'm sleeping on the West Coast, guys. Maybe I think y'all are listening to different music, right? Yes, sir, man. I was born in a looker house, man. The little boom boom rooms, like Club Shay Shay, that type of stuff, man. I was raised up in there. I was a little kid. My father ran a liquor house, guys, where all the women's coming over there, all the men hanging out, and I'm watching everybody dance. That's why y'all think I talk with my hands. I'm so animated. Watching older men that's like 50, you know how they talk, oh, just this and this and this, and they always talking with their hands, and they got character. It's like unks. It's a bunch of unks up in there, and that's why I act like the unk. That's why I'm so passionate, because I saw that coming up. Gave me a lot of personality. When I say, hey, dance with the girl that you brought to the party, I got that from the unks in the looker house. So yeah, Jordan, hit me up at fantasygoodesports@gmail.com and give me your Cash App, and that's coming to you. Appreciate you, bruh. Aaron Holloway knew what it was too. Teddy P TKO. Jimmy says the Texans offensive line is an absolute disaster. CJ Stroud is constantly under duress. Yes, but you can fix that. You can. I know it's the same, but you can fix the passing immediate pressure. Maybe you can't run the ball great, but you can fix the passing game. So they're just going to have to get the ball out quick and then take certain situations to push the ball downfield. But it's going to be tough. Miracle Baller says, love that fantasy TKO. Right. Right. Jeff says, Y'all, if you had the choice of the Bears or Vikings defense, who you picking? I need 8 points to win tonight. Durf Boy says Teddy Pendergrass. I said Pendergrass. Slick Rick says Fanning Jr. doesn't affect Njoku. Okay. They use Fanning Jr. out of the slot. Okay. Backfield and number 2 tight end and 11 personnel. Njoku has the same role. Okay. Okay. Jay Moore says, I drafted Tyler Warren to start immediately. Great job, bruh. Great job. Thomas says Harold Fanning Jr. going to be solid also. Yes, sir. Gabe Barker says Nico's still a top 5 wide receiver, if you ask me. I agree with that. Miracle Bottle says Jordan got the Teddy Pendergrass too. You dig? Right. Thomas says, are you worried about Jaylen Warren at all? Kenneth Gainwell got 7 rush attempts. No, as a flex play. That's what he is. If you put him in as an RB2, you got to know what he's going to give you low floor. He's a good flex play. He's going to be in the game. He's going to have a couple rushing touchdowns throughout the year. He could have 6 rushing touchdowns, and he caught one last week. Yes, I'm going to downgrade Warren a little bit over a couple guys because of that, because of Kenneth Gainwell getting carries, but it's not going to deter me from starting Warren if I need to play a running back in the flex. As V-Hand Sports, what's going on, bro? Appreciate you being here. Gabe Barker says, make sure you drop a like on the video. Double tap the screen. Share the love. Thank you. Guys, also, what's that video? Like, when you hit the like button, you can hype my video out. Guys, the first person, I'm going to send another cash out. The first person who can show me that you hype my video and you send me a screenshot of it at fantasygoodesports@gmail, send it to my email, I'm going to cash out for you $1. And that's what I'm going to do throughout the year, guys. It might be $1, but tell me somebody else who's going to cash out for you $1, right? So, yes, I will cash out for you $1. Just show me that you hype my guys. Hype the video. When you hit the like button, hype the video too. Jimmy TV says, if you have Walker, you're likely looking at an injury-prone back in a committee all year for the rest of the season. Big facts. JC says, Thomas, he had a touchdown and a great game. No worries. He going to need to be spelled from time to time. Gainwell, a perennial backup. Right. Thomas says Jaylen Warren 11 rushing tips and 2 targets. Right, but he's starting. So this is what this team is. This is Aaron Rodgers. So he don't use no running backs like everybody else. So if I got to use a running back and I'm looking for somebody and one is on the waivers, I don't mind picking them up and putting them in the flex if I need to. Only do it if you need to. Cal says, I double stacked Allen with Shakir and Coleman. I was down bad. Now I'm up 15 and I have the Bears defense and my opponent has Jefferson. Do you think I win? Thanks. Yes. I'm going to say yeah, bro. 15 points can be cleared by Justin Jefferson. But you got the and I have the Bears defense. So you still got some points coming too that's going to keep, at least 6 or 7. So I think you're going to win. Paolo says quarterback Hurts, Fields, wide receiver Nico, Drake London, Hollywood, Tillman, Shaheed, Wandale, running back Chuba, Tracy, Trey Benson, Caleb Johnson, tight end and Njoku. Should I trade Hurts to upgrade at RB? Yes, I think you should. And I gave you some guys that you should be targeting, like Alvin Kamara, Chase Brown. You can get some guys on this B tier level. You can get a 2-for-1. I would do a 2-for-1. If I do it straight up, it's got to be a big time running back. If I do a 1-for-1. Don Bond says, do you think Henry would stay healthy this year with all that work? Hey man, that's just a lot of work now. That's not a lot of work for him. Henry was taking 30 carries for 4 years in a row. He was getting 30 carries every single game for 4 years in a row. Maybe a couple games he didn't do it. So I'm not worried about no Henry with no injury. Ash says, would you stop Evan Ingram if you have Kittle? Would you draft Evan Ingram if you have Kittle? They both hurt now. No, I'm not worried about no Evan Ingram. You should not have Evan Ingram on your team. This is a trap tight end. I told y'all, do not be drafting no Evan Ingram. Don't take a piece of candy from everybody. If I pull a piece of candy out of my pocket and it's been folded up and been in my pocket for years, why do you want that? Just because you want something sweet? No, bro, you need help. You need to get off the sugar addiction. Don't be going, I'm not getting no Evan Ingram. That's just the way I look at Evan Ingram. I don't think he can stay healthy for a whole season. Just, we know what he was when he was younger, and he had a couple big years for a couple teams. No. I would just stash Kittle, but I'll be willing to drop Evan Ingram. Gabe Barker says the first was in response to how Alicia was talking about CMC. Right. Right, Alicia. You know what you're doing. You dancing real nice today. I bet you when you was watching CMC, like, TD gonna try to call me out on the live because I said he was cooked. TD gonna try to call me out on the live because I was cooked. You knew it. Jordan Pillar says Britton Strange. I love Britton Strange. That's one of my #1 tight end pickups. That's my guy. Thomas says I'm considering starting JCM over Jaylen Warren. I don't think there's nothing wrong, especially if Austin Ekeler is hurt. Bro, you're not wrong with that. You killing it, Thomas, with that. That makes sense. Jimmy TV says if anyone drafted Pacheco, come on, Jimmy. I'm gonna see what y'all gonna say. Come on. If anyone drafted Pacheco, you got a committee back without red zone carries. Who comes off the field on passing downs? What did I say, Jimmy? Guys, I'm gonna find out. Some of you don't want to tell me that you got Pacheco. Some of you right now, listen, and I can't tell you what to do on your team, but if some of you, I'm gonna find out, and I'm gonna be like, bruh, it's a few things that people need to listen to me on. It's a few things. One of them could be Isaiah Pacheco because I was right last year about him. Now you can say, well, but just with the injury. Now you see, Pat Mahomes is the goal line running back. That's it. Xavier Worthy was going to be used better in the red zone and in the green zone than Pacheco was if he wouldn't have got hurt. Now, Pacheco might have a little bit more value, and they might have to establish the run a little bit more because of the injury to Xavier Worthy. So you might have something now. But if I find out you got Isaiah Pacheco, it's not like I'm trying to search for that. But if you try to ask me who to start and you still got Isaiah Pacheco on your team, you got a trap team. And I can't fix trap teams. If you got all these trap players on there, there's nothing I can do. Nobody wants no Isaiah Pacheco. I drafted Isaiah Pacheco. You want him? Nah, I don't want him. That's how you know what you really got. Man, your wife is cute, man. Oh, would you have married her? Nah, I'm not. Oh, so she ain't pretty then. You telling me she pretty, but you wouldn't have married her. You want Isaiah? You got Isaiah Pacheco on your team, but you don't want to trade for him. Go get Isaiah Pacheco right now. Go buy low on him. Go buy low on Isaiah Pacheco right now. Go buy low on him. Aaron Holloway says, we family here, TD. You know it, bruh. We family. That's why I call y'all bruh. I learned that from my homie, man. Young cat. We've been hanging around since we were like 15, 16. And this guy, you talking about he could fight? Like, I wasn't no pushover. I was cock diesel strong, you know what I'm saying? Wasn't scared of nothing. This guy, man, like 6'2", 6'3", 15 years old, knocking out grown men. And he would be like, what's up, bruh? And that's where I got my bruh from. That's where I got my bruh from. Gabe Barker says, I'm Richie Thomas, but watch it for another week because his stats might get a little skewed with the weak Giants line. Gabe Barker says, facts at Jimmy TV. They feeling sick now. Tron 4 says, my Barkley and CMC backfield did well this week. Yes, sir. Good job. Gabe Barker said, I don't think so, Kelvin. I'm sorry you went through that traumatic experience. We got another super chat from Senor Rojo. What's up, bruh? Yes, sir. He says, big bruh, this is my squad. 6 pick, 12-team PPR, quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 3 flex. JD5, you killed it. And I told y'all, I didn't tell y'all to draft a lot of JD5. That's another guy that I missed, but you killed it. So way to pivot, even when I'm not telling you to do something directly. I'm always going to give credit if it's not what I said, if it hits. If it don't, I might chastise you. I'm sorry if this feel like I'm cherry picking to see if you're going to be right or wrong, but I have to chastise you a little bit. And I know this thing, we don't know what's going to happen from week to week, but I got to chastise you a little bit. But yeah, great job with JD5. Gibbs, A. Chaney, Buka. I'm putting, every time I put my finger up, it's help your grade. Tyler Warren, Keon, Bob, Braylon, Gordon. I think that's an A- squad, bro. That's an A-. You got Gibbs and A-Chain and Ibuka. JD5, Gibbs, A-Chain, and Ibuka. And Warren, and Keon, and Braylon Allen. Bro, you killed it. A-. Appreciate you, bro, with the super chat. Got another super chat in the building from King of Nike, who been following me for about 3 years right now, bro. Appreciate you guys. He says, what's good, TD? Kyler Murray, Penix, Genty, Kyrie Williams, Breach, Charbonnet, Ollie, Brian Thomas Jr., Drake London, Ibuka, Rasheed Rice, Debo, JSN, Evan Ingram. I like Penix over Kyler Murray for the year. Fanning or Johnson? Okay. I'm going with Johnson. I like Johnson over Fanning because I don't know. I need to see more from Fanning before I tell you to go to that. But I love Johnson, especially with a young quarterback. Remember what I always say about a quarterback when he's young: a tight end is his best friend. Pause. Um, if you want to start Penix over Kyler, I'm okay with that, but I would not drop Kyler because Kyler was sick and Kyler got that rushing upside. And when you play against Lamar and Josh Allen, I think you need to play with somebody who has tremendous upside. Now, it could still be Michael Penix. So be careful with letting Kyler go unless you trade him and get a piece. Other than that, man, just looking at your team with Genty, that's a good stash. That's a good guy to draft. And then you waiting on him. He's going to be good. Kyle Williams, who is a bell cow. He's going to get 20 carries and all the goal line opportunities. Breach is balling out. I wouldn't on no Breach. I don't want no Breach, but he's balling out. Charbonnet is a good handcuff. Brian Thomas, Drake London, Ibuka. I'm going to get that team a B+. I think you still got a little bit of growing to do, but I like to where your team can go in a different quadrant. And you get in a second quadrant when Brian Thomas finally understand how to get open for Trevor Lawrence, and it might not even be Trevor. I said what I said. And then you got Drake London, who's got to get through the shoulder injury. You got Ibuka, who's balling out. You got Rasheed Rice coming back. Great job, bro. You got a good team. And Debo, you got a really good team. That's why I gave you a B+. Yep. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the super chats, guys. So we got what? 48 people. We got 62 likes. Miracle Baller said, okay, hold on. Brandon Roberts says JSN went off right. And I was worried about JSN with Sam Darnold, but Sam Darnold had a great game. Congratulations to Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was killing it. Kyle says, you bought me back into the league. Yes, sir, bro. Yes, sir. I love the way he keep going to the chat. He's spamming the chat. Keep spamming that chat, Kyle, and showing love to the channel. Appreciate that, Kyle. Aaron Holloway says, Matthew Golden has an ankle injury. Yeah, I've seen that. And he's a rookie wide receiver. Stash him. Don't drop him. Stash him. Miracle Baller says, if you're new and need help liking the channel, double tap the screen and hit the 3 dots in the top right corner of the screen. Appreciate that, Miracle Ballers. Don Mom says, Step Diggs. I bet a big pass on Ibuka and thought Diggs would get a ton of targets. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know why you didn't go with Ibuka because I wasn't high on Ibuka, but Godwin wasn't healthy with an ankle surgery. Mike Evans always having hamstrings issues, and McMillan dude hurt his neck. I don't know when you drafted, but I wasn't gonna fade no Ibuka, even though I wasn't on Ibuka, so I had to get Ibuka. Ibuka's bought out. Diggs is gonna be okay. He's just gonna be a safe guy. So don't look at it looks like it's gonna be Keyshawn Butte. Keyshawn Butte looks like the guy that's going to be, but to me, it could be Pop, it could be Hunter Henry. They got a lot of weapons. It could be Travion Henderson. That's why I like Drake May, because I think he got a sneaky team and he can have some upside weeks. Cal says, thanks for the feedback, bro. Anytime. Aaron Holloway says, I got DJ Moore and my opponent has Aaron Jones. Is it possible to win? Yes, it is. DJ Moore going to get some targets. Aaron Jones going to get some carries. He probably going to get a couple goal line carries too. But anything is possible, man. It's fantasy. We don't know. Jay Moore says, who do I drop to build depth? Thornton Jr. or Drake May? Also, should I roster a quarterback with Knicks as the starter? The way he looked week 1, man, I would say you need to hold on to Drake May. and you can find another wide receiver. So I would say Thornton Jr. because you can't just get rid of Drake May when Knicks looked a little iffy, but he should get back. He should get going again this week, and he has a good coach like with Sean Payton. So I trust it, but I'm not going to be able to tell you to drop Drake May this week. Maybe in 2 weeks we'll do it. We're not going to do it even if Bo Nix is the #1 quarterback next week. We still won't do it. But in 2 weeks, if Bo Nix has another good outing, then we can drop Drake May. But right now we can't drop Drake May. So if you have to drop one of those guys, it's got to be Thornton Jr. Miracle Bottle says, who is winning tonight, the Vikings or the Bears? I'm going with the Bears because of J.J. McCarthy being at the quarterback position and being a young quarterback, his first start. Jay Moore says, also I have Ollie Gordon on the bench. Yes, and keep Ollie Gordon. Do not drop him. Dear Devoter says, 30 more likes, even it out. Yes. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Let's get the likes up. We need to get 100 likes before we get out of here. Jimmy's TV says no one expected Kenneth Walker to lead the Pittsburgh backfield in snaps and out-touch rookie Caleb Johnson 10-1. No. It happens. MVM says with Kittle hurt, I need to drop Ollie or Marks for Strange or Juwan Johnson. I would drop Marks easy for Strange. For a piece of Strange. Yeah, I would drop Ollie for a piece of Strange. JC says 1K league that I lost Kittle. He was my flex. Okay. I have McBride too. Okay. I messed up there taking both of them. I know. It's okay. Bench, Thornton, Bigsby, Amena, Hill, and Addison. So you got Addison coming back. So, okay, with that information, tell me what you're trying to do, JC. He says waiver, Franklin, Johnson, Schultz, Washington. So you need so I would tell you to go get, with no Strange men out there, go get Juwan Johnson. Go get Juwan Johnson. And if you need a wide receiver, Franklin will be the guy that I would pick up. So those are two guys that I like, Juwan Johnson and Franklin. Quentin Johnson, man, is going to be good, but it's a lot of mouths to feed on that team. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe he keeps doing this all year long. I don't believe so. Jay Moore says, did Ekeler really get banged up? I heard he did. Thomas says, my whole bench is running backs. And that's good. JC is full team, Allen, Gibbs, Tracy, DJ Moore, J-Mo, McBride, Kittle, Thielen. So what killed you was J-Mo and Tracy, and it's going to be okay. Now, this is where I'm going to have to chastise you a little bit. DJ Moore could be a trap wide receiver according to what your team said. Because what I'm trying to say is, if you would have had somebody else instead of DJ Moore, it could have covered up for J-Mo and a Kittle injury. Thielen is going to be a better player to me than DJ Moore as the season goes on. I would try to get out. If DJ Moore has a good week, I would trade him. That's me. Hopefully that helps you, JC. But listen, put more. If that's not helping you get to where you're trying to get to, keep putting the questions in there. And I get to it, bro, and we'll break it all the way down. Rome says, Keenan balled out. Appreciate you, bro. Anytime, Rome. Rashik says, do I cam scap for Sampson? Got Juckins. Yes, I would do that because you getting that backfield. Yes, you getting a squeeze. And a squeeze, you can't go wrong because no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. So sometimes it's okay to risk a Cam Scatterbo who could come out and be the starting running back because Tracy went down, but you already got your starting running backs. And no matter what happens, even if Juckins goes down, you got the other one because we ain't worried about no Jerome Ford. Jimmy TV says Calvin Austin is worth picking up in a deeper leagues where you have receiver needs. Yes, he is. But you got to start him like you starting Quentin Johnson. If he give you a 0, you got to be okay with it. I don't get mad. If you start him and you get upset, he's not for you. You shouldn't pick him up. That Fantasy Network says, hey, TD, I sent you a trade. Likely for Dante Thornton. You dealing? Yes, I am. I'm going to look at it, bruh. I might do that. Miracle Baller says, Tyreek going back to KC. I hope so. Hey, I'm going to be 100%. I mean, I might be 95, 94% if Tyreek goes there and he start, boy. Woo. Jay Moore says, the only reason why I fade Henry in drafts is because of receiving upside. But, man, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bro, you can't. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. Don't you know there, and I always go to real life and I use, like, relationships. Mina Kunis is beautiful. the girl that played on the 70s show, she's beautiful, but she don't have a nice backside. I like women who's built nice from their legs into their butt. But just because Mina Kunis don't have a butt don't mean that I'm not going to date her and give her an opportunity because she's beautiful. Just because Derrick Henry don't catch passes, I'm not going to draft him. It's way past that, bro. I did that probably like 3 or 4 years ago because I'm like, but he don't catch no passes. And then he went for 18. And I was like, he don't catch passes. And then he went for 17. I said, well, listen, it doesn't matter no more. He going to go for 17. That's going to be enough. Everybody wins different. Everybody don't win the same way. So I wouldn't hold that against him anymore, bro. But I get it. I did that too. MVM says also Fannin Jr. is available. Yeah, I like Fannin Jr., man. According to Slick Rick, he's going to be used in the slot. So if y'all believe that, I think it was just one game like that. I think he will get 2 or 3 opportunities, kind of like Hunter Bryant used to get. But I don't think he's going to be a top 10 tight end every week. But what do I know? And I'm being sincere with that. Excuse me. Gabe Barker says, I personally never been a fan of Tua deep ball inaccuracy, which is critical to take advantage of Hill. Well, he's actually been accurate, but he can't throw it and running. He's more of an anticipation deep ball guy. And Tom Brady was that at one point in time before his arm got a little bit stronger. You just get the ball out before he can outrun your arm. And that's what Tua's been. So he says, a couple years ago, I lost my first 3 games, and you won a championship. I remember that. JC, okay. And made the playoffs. Okay, and made the playoffs. That's what she said. Dom says, should I sit Mario in Hampton? It just depends on who you got. It depends on who you got, bro. Miracle Bottle says, Mike McDaniels is a good coach. He is a good coach. He just has a hurt quarterback. Gabe, Dirk Boy says, should I trade CMC for Saquon? The Saquon owner in my league is a 49ers fan. Why not? You feel better with the health. I say why not? Yeah, that's okay if you want to do that, right? Because that's what you're trying to look to do. Go ahead and do it. That way you don't have that injury prone looking over your team. Gabe says, who would you start over Hampton? Dom says Hurts is Bama. Jimmy TV said, if Rashid Shaheed a drop, is Rashid Shaheed a drop? It depends on what you got on your team. I would stash him because I think we don't know who from week to week going to be what. And then Chris Olave looked like the guy, but Shaheed could get a big play. I don't think he's consistent, useful when he's catching passes from either Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shutt. That is true. That's true. That's true. So he's a spot start boom guy. King of Nike says Ibuka for the win. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dub Nation says, what it do, bro? What's up, Dub Nation? He says, this is my 5th season under your advice. Keep dishing out that great content, my brother. Yes, sir. Aaron Holloway says, Travis Etienne 8-2. He did. And that's nice value. We was getting Travis Etienne in around 8 and 9. Dom says, should I drop Cedric Tillman for Quentin Johnson? No. I will hold on to Cedric Tillman. Yes, Quentin Johnson numbers are unsustainable. I agree. Thomas says Nico was average this week. 3 receptions and 5 targets for 25 yards. Nico going to be all right. I have him plus London, who got hurt. Facts. King of Nike says, I have Debo, Breach, and JSN on the bench and still smash my opponent. What kind of team you got, bro? You got an A team, don't you? A+. King Justin says, you were not high on Travis Etienne. No, I wasn't. He led the way, carrying 16 times for 143 yards. Played 40 snaps. Bigsby played 14 snaps and 5 for 12, 0 rushing. Yeah, and listen, this is what I say. Bro, I can't be on everybody. So ETN is ETN. I got him in like a couple leagues where I just drafted him, right? But I wasn't on him. So that's all on you, man. But again, just to go with your comment, I think it's a little disingenuous because I can't go through every single team and pick a guys and say, well, what's my hit and miss rate? I just pick my guys. I might skip 3 teams because I'm not getting to anybody for that team. And I tried to always tell y'all that way you don't, because sometimes like, well, what about this guy? He had 50 points last week. I'm like, bro, who is that? I don't want that. That's a Whoopi Goldberg. I don't want no Whoopi Goldberg. Now I'm not gonna call no Travis Etienne a Whoopi Goldberg, but I don't want no running back and I have to figure out who's gonna be the guy. Because this is what I tell you, King Justin. When Tank Bixby balled out and ETN only have 20 yards, I wonder if you're gonna say the same thing. Hey, you wasn't high on Tank Bigsby, and he only had 5 carries for 40 yards, and Tank had 16 carries for 180. I wonder are you gonna say that, because it can happen each week. Now, if ETN goes off next week and the next week, I say, hey, bro, I wasn't on ETN. I should have been. This guy's keeping it going, but you can't just wait till he have a good game and say you wasn't on the guy, right? Especially when ETN has struggled the last 2 years. But I do think ETN was a good draft pick for the flex later in your drafts. I think I said that a couple times. AK says, what you think of Ingram injury? Got Ferguson on the bench. Play Ferguson. Get rid of Ingram. Get rid of him. He's a trap tight end. Big Will says, I get 143 yards too if I play against the Carolina. Miracle Baller says, come on, guys. Get the likes up. Double tap the screen or hit the hamburger button at the top right of the screen. Thank you, Miracle Ballers. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. Yankee, he says, will Malik and Nico bounce back? Ibuka deliver. Is Zay a must start? Yes, Zay is a must start. I love Zay. I've been on Zay. Was I high on Zay like I was in the past? No, because it was other receivers that I was getting to, like J-Mo. But y'all know I love Zay. I always told Zay is the #1 guy on Buffalo. But, oh, sorry, guys. He's the #1 guy on Buffalo. I mean, not on Baltimore. But there's other guys that's going to be balling out for that team, too, like Derrick Henry, Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews. All these guys going to have their games. But Zay is going to be a little bit better than most of them. And Isaiah Likely is going to be, to me, the second best once he gets healthy. But, yeah, Malik and Nico is going to be okay. Charlene says, stay humble. It's only the first week. Relax. Charlene, what that mean? Stay humble. What that mean? Because I don't see anybody in here boasting about what they doing other than telling me that I did a good job. And I know you're not telling them to stay humble when they trying to shout out my channel, right? Right? Because I don't know what humble mean when somebody, ain't nobody say, oh, I'm the best, but I have to make content and I have to try to sell my content. I have to try to make money. But I don't know. I'm just asking, Charlene, just asking. Because sometimes it seems like you want to come up here and do content with me. Now, I invited you up here, girl. I invited you up here. I know you know your stuff. Listen, you can take me to water and I will drink it. I know you said you could take a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. I will drink the water, but it's got to be clean water. I love you. You know I love you, Charlene. Jimmy's TV says, is it worth waiting to see if Downs is more active week 2? It's up to you on your team. I'm not. I don't think Daniel Jones is going to be looking for that. I think Tyler Warner is going to be his quick outlet. Stephen Wynn says, how cooked am I with Cooper Kupp? Overdone. I think you are well done steak. So it's not as good. It's not juicy. So I think you need to get rid of Cooper Kupp or just hold on to him and use him whenever you're going to need him, bro. Gabe Barker says, okay. Big Will says, I agree, Charlene. Okay, I think I know what you're saying, Big Will, but she was saying be humble. I don't know what she's talking about. It sounded like she was telling the guys to be humble who's giving me shout-outs. I haven't seen anybody in here say, I'm the best and I got this guy. You have to take the victories on a weekly basis. You have to take them. If not, if you're waiting to go and dominate your league, you're not going to have fun playing fantasy. And I always try to tell people, don't come to the channel to look for me to fail. If you do, you need to look for me to win too. The same energy. Not talking to you, Big Will. You all, bro, you give love. Same with Charlene. Just want to let y'all know like what's going on here. I might be one of the humblest people on fantasy football. That's why I read out everybody comment. Most time I could get off of here right now and just say, well, I went through my members. Y'all ain't offering no money. I'm done. I'm not doing that. One gospel carrier says thoughts on Miami. It's Devon A. Chain and Tyreek Hill. That's it. Devon A. Chain, Tyreek Hill. Cameron Austin said, TD, good to see you live, bro. Yes, sir, Cameron. Who is Cameron? Do I know you, Cameron, in real life? Chris Vila says 2 of my teams in shambles and 2 looking real good. And that's how fantasy it could change next week. One gospel carrier says Keon Coleman, the number one overall over there. The number one over there. Yes, he is the number one over there. He is the number one wide receiver. Deal Devoted says 1 with Lamar on the bench. Cameron says Drake London bust for me this week. Yeah, it was the injury. AK said that's crazy. Interesting factoid says, should I trade Diggs and Devontae Smith for McConkey and RJ Harvey? Diggs and Devontae Smith for McCarkey and RJ Harvey? Yes, sir. I would do that. Interesting factoids. Yes, sir. Gabe Barker, okay, he's talking the gospel. Thomas says, yeah, I'd take Ladd and Harvey. I would too. Gabe says, it sounds like a great trade to me. King of Nike says, where do you see Kyler Murray finishing this year? I have Pennis as my backup. I have Kyler Murray finishing as top 12. I know that's not a lot, right? But I do think he is top 12, and I do think he has some boom weeks where he will be in the top 5, at least 2 or 3 weeks. A says, is Jerome Johnson a stash if you need a tight end? He's finished second on the team in targets behind only Chris Olave. If you need a tight end, go get him. Cameron Austin says, how are we feeling about the Cowboys run game after week 1? Garbino. Martin Castiga says, bruh, can I pick up and start Fannin Jr., Ingram, and Kittle hurt? Thinking about putting a waiver, bruh. Bruh, you need to go to Johnson over Ingram. Fannin Jr. is fine, but I'm not picking up no Ingram. Don't pick up no Ingram. Thomas says, yeah, I think Juwan Johnson is solid. Gabe says, depends on what else is available. Paolo says, thanks, bro, anytime. Miracle Baller says, appreciate you, TD. I got a bust a move and get some picks and teams built for the night. Me too. Appreciate you, bro. Jay Moore says, I have Hampton and Henderson as starting my flex positions. Also, thoughts on Marvin Harrison Jr. You got to start Marvin Harrison Jr. He's the number 1 on the team, just like Michael Pittman. So you just got to start him and see what happens. And if he get consistent, then you got something. But I'm not going to say he's something right now because I've seen 1 game and maybe a couple games last year. So Hampton and Henderson are fine as your flex. They will get better as the season goes because they're young. Deal says, let's get the likes up. Yes, sir. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Gabe Barker says, MHJ breakout year. Okay. It could be. Gabe Barker says he will still be limited upside with Kyler at the quarterback in a solid running game, though. 1A says, does Tongues have fantasy value if Kittle and Jennings miss significant time? Yes, they does. He does. I mean, he's just a guy that you can't find nobody else to play. You put him in there. I'm not saying he's going to break out and be special, but he's a guy that he's just going to get opportunities. Freed says, do I drop Mark Andrews? No, you don't drop him. Don't drop him. Trade him, but don't drop him. Saul says, y'all think Hawkinson going to score less than 14 points tonight? Look, I don't know. But I didn't draft any Hawkinson because I don't like his upside. But he can have upside games. He's been a top 5 tight end a couple seasons. Gabe says, if you can get any value off a trade for Andrews, that would be the move for me. Facts. Shawnee says, I bleed burnt orange. Go Texas. I know you do. How do you feel? You haven't talked about that loss. Gabe says, yes, Hawkinson is it's going to be less than 14. Junk says, would you try to trade Kenneth Walker? Low-key stress and yes. And Junk, I don't know when you got here, but I told a lot of people to fade Kenneth Walker. So yes, I would try to trade him. Cameron also says, a team in my league has 3 pieces of the Bengals offense, Chase, Higgins, and Brown. He wants to drop one of them. Who should I go for? Well, he ain't gonna drop Jamar Chase. I mean, if he dropped T, I don't know what type of league you in, Cameron. If you're in a 10-team league, but I'm definitely going off of Chase Brown. I'm going to get Chase Brown over Higgins. Now, if Jamar Chase out there, you got to get Jamar Chase. So I'm going with Chase Brown over T Higgins. Cordial, he says, hi, I'm about to sleep. What should I know right before I sleep? Stay strong. 1A says, bye, Fields. If you missed out on the elites, he was outstanding week 1. He could finish as this year as a top 3 quarterback if he continues to play like he did Sunday. But make sure that you ready for that. Make sure you ready, because if he don't hit like that, you don't be upset that you traded and went to Justin Fields. Chris Villa says, hidden dog. Thomas says, I punt running back in my home league and grab Henderson, Harvey, and JCM. Harvey going to smash in time. Right, Thomas. Thomas said, alert, Brock Purdy has shoulder injury, questionable for Sunday. Wow. He'll be okay. Deal says, clean, crispy fade. Okay. Beard shaped up. Okay. And then you'll be looking like new money. Okay, bro. Okay. Oh, man. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, Chris, I'm sorry about that super chat, bro. The $5 ones are the only ones that pop up like that. Maybe I can go on my settings and make the ones for $1.99 and bigger to pop up. I'm sorry about that, man. I got to your comments too late, bro. He says, worry about neighbors. What to do with AJ? Don't be worried about neighbors. He's going to be fine. If you can trade him and get a 2-for-1, that's okay. But what to do with AJ Brown, you're just going to have to start him. That's why I don't, man, when you get certain top guys, there's nothing you can do. You're going to have to wait for him a boom game, and then maybe you can trade him. I would trade AJ once he has a boom game for some lower tier wide receivers if I wanted to, or another running back. Maybe a 2-for-1 from like a C plus B tier. It just depends. But I think you're just going to have to play AJ. And neighbors you could trade this week. People are still willing to buy on him. Junk says, do you think Kenneth Walker is a sale right now? Yes, he's a big sale. Doc Spencer says, the Ravens need to fix their defense, yes or no? No, they don't. They just played against Josh Allen. He's just special. Nobody else is really doing that to them. Unless it's Jaden Daniels or somebody. Thomas says, also, Kittle expected to be sidelined in a few weeks. Okay, so you got to go get a tight end if you have Kittle. Gabe says they got to do something. Big Wheel says, with Kittle being out multiple weeks, do you think their backup is worth picking up? It just depends on what's on the waivers. If you got good tight ends like Juwan Johnson on the waivers, no. Deal says, definitely would be an honor and dope opportunity, bro. Yes, sir. Thomas says, you can't sell Walker on the low. Wait till he has a few good games, if he does have a few good games. Jimmy says, I would sell Daniel Jones. He's faced Miami defense and likely will be the worst in the NFL this season. I actually kind of agree with that. I would sell Daniel Jones if I could, too. I'm not saying he's going to be worse next for the rest of the year, but I would sell on him. Junk says, Walker scaring me with Charbonnet getting a lot of red zones. Right. Chris says, Dolphins dishonored me. Junk says, what chat is he reading? I don't know, Junk. Gabe says, I'm sorry, Chris. Looks like it's going to be a long year. He says, yeah, man, I'd be happy if they fire the coach. Cameron says, do you think I can swing CD and Bucky for Gibbs and A.J. Brown? Yeah. But I wouldn't want to go for A.J. Brown, but he'd be fine. He's going to have some top 5 weeks, but is it going to be consistent the way this team flows? I don't know. But, yeah, I think you could get that. Ed Tate says, do you think May feed Keyshawn Boutte every week? Yes, at least having a nice floor between 8 points. I think he has a floor of 8 points. Jimmy TV said, I would sell high on Williams. He would have scored only 8.4 fantasy points without those 2 touchdowns. I agree. Don't be surprised if he loses touches to Jaden Blue next week. Big facts. Thomas says, 49ers said they haven't ruled out our yet for Kittle. Okay. Damn. Gordon is still a hoe, Ed Tay. Junk says, bro, what chat is he reading? Let's see here. Marty says, are you in a Scott Fish bowl? Yes, I am, Marty. And I'm winning right now. Drew says, I have Kincaid and Okonkwo. Any tight end on the waiver wire you would pick up for one of these guys? Yes, I would. No, you keep Kincaid and Okonkwo. Keep Kincaid and Okonkwo. Junk says, how do we ask questions? Deal says, put on the Bobby Womack. Wow, West Kumo D. Okay. I'm gonna check that out, bro. Bobby Womack. Junk says, what? Okay. If you want your chat read right away, you have to super chat. Junk says Gabe is Gabe, he's not reading the YouTube chat. Thank y'all for taking up for me. Thank you for letting the guy know. Deal says all that. I'm 26. Favorite singing group is Temptations. Okay, I'm 26 and my favorite group is the Temptations. I know all the words to the 3-hour film. Otis up there. Okay. Cameron says, who is the better dynasty rookie wide receiver pick? Higgins, Harris, or Williams? I'm saying Williams. Junk says he's obviously reading from some other chat. He literally just said my name. Are you actually Helen Keller? He said Helen Keller. Wow. He hasn't read one chat from YouTube unless it's super chat. Jimmy says, use the Henry Lamar squeeze. Hard to beat that combo. Thanks, bro. Yes, sir. Chris says, I hype for free. Just answer my super chat. Right. Yeah, bro. My bad. I didn't see it was $1.99, bro. And I'm going through the comments like that. It doesn't come up as a $1.99. You know I'm not gonna skip over your super chat, bro. So guys, I'm gonna have to try to find another way. I think I'm gonna go into my settings and make sure all the super chats, no matter what it is, pops up. And I think I gotta go inside my YouTube studio. So I apologize for you, Chris, for that, bro. Next time I'm going through the comment section, I get to some of your questions and make sure I take my time on them like they are a super chat. But never would ignore a super chat. Deal says $1 better than no dollars. Facts. Senor says, I don't care what anybody says. Justin Fields was balling. He was. Gabe says, yes, sir. Still of the draft. Jacory Krosky Merritt. Yes, 50 people up in here. Prophetic says Justin Fields for who? I would keep Justin Fields. I wouldn't trade him if you got him, or maybe I would trade him for like maybe a Joe Burrow. Burrow. Chris says some guys felt so obvious. Gabe says he is literally reading through every chat. He had his own content to get through before he could start reading our nonsense, and we went crazy in here. A says, is Dak a hole, or would you drop him for Geno? I would hold on to Dak, but I would stash Geno. Another super chat from Gay. He says, new super chat at the bottom. Love the cutting edge content. TD, thank you, bro. Thank you. I'm so proud of my channel, guys. I've been going through a lot this year, but my channel, it's incredible. I mean, God works in mysterious ways. You go through one thing, but another thing is prospering and growing. I love my channel. Thank you, bro. I love y'all guys. Thank you, Gabe. Chris says Geno got 12 dome games this year. Sleeper. That could be a good one too, right? I think Dak is going to be really good. He played good, even though he didn't have the fantasy points. All right, guys, so I'm going to try to get out of here. I've been live for a little bit over an hour now. Gabe says Dak has too many weapons, though. Junk says, Gay, bruh, he's not reading this chat, bruh. What are you talking about? He hasn't even read Chris' super chat. Bruh is literally reading off a different chat, my guy. Let's see here. Junk says, not even tried to hate on OG. I'm just saying. Gabe says, I'm not going to keep arguing with you, bruh. You're going to be looking real silly when he gets down to these comments. It's okay, bro. It comes with the guys. People say all types of crazy stuff. I don't take it personal. Now, if you are a member of the channel and you've been rocking with me for a while, I might chastise a little bit. But if he don't think I'm reading the chat, guys, it's okay. Appreciate you being here, Junk. Would you sell high on Dobbins? Yes, I would. I would do that in a heartbeat. Let's see here. Tui says, is Keon Coleman the real, or was that just a game? No, he's real, bro. He's going to be the alpha on this team. Get Keon Coleman. If he's on your waivers, spend 50, 60% of your fab to get the top wide receiver. Dale says, jump, chill, your time is coming. Dog, sit tight or drop a super chat. Louise says, bro, how are you? I'm good, bro. He said, I can either start Sharps or RJ week. RJ week 2. Who you going with? I feel good about my future with them. Just gotta let the season happen. I agree with you. Sharps is the safest one, but RJ has more upside for a bigger play. So I will go with Sharps if I just needed to make sure I get at least 10 points, right? Because it gets hard out here in fantasy. So sometimes the safe points is the way to go, but RJ got more upside. But I like both of those guys. Stay with them. Gabe says, I haven't been on Fanning, but I know some people with opinions and I respect, and I have been on him for a while. Gotcha. And I like Fanning, but I didn't think he was going to be getting targets over Njoku. Maybe they not going to be battling for targets. Jay Moore said, can we talk about Marvin Harrison Jr.? Yes, man. He's a plug and play. It's easy. It's not even difficult. You got to start him. He's a wide receiver 1 for the Arizona Cardinals. I think we will soon. How did Thornton Jr. do week 1? He did good. He caught 2 passes for about 40 yards. Chris says, look at my SC super chat when you can, TD. Okay, again, I apologize for that, Chris, because I did not see. I was going through, it was $1.99. The $1.99 ones don't pop up if you wasn't in here earlier. But my bad, bruh. DT says, who we dropping, bruh? I don't know who put the players in there. AK says Eagles tight end is hurt. What do you think about only having Ferguson? Should I look for Kincaid or someone else? No, stay with Ferguson. Ferguson's going to be fine, even in a 10-man league. Unless you got, yeah, I would have Ferguson over those guys. I don't know who's out there. Brent Strange, maybe. Bo says, build a running back from Commanders going to be a tight end league winner. He could. Mike King, what's up, bro? He says, much love. This is the real Don. What's up, Mike King? Yes, sir, bro. Kevin also says, can I get a consultation for my Dynasty League or Sleeper this year was our startup? Okay. Yeah, hit me up at fantasygoodesports@gmail.com and Barker, I'm about to get to your super chat too. I apologize, but let me finish this. You can get a consultation, but hit me up at fantasygoodesports@gmail.com. And if you sign up as a Phenom member, bro, it'll be free. So all you gotta do is spend $20, and then you can get your first consultation free. And then after that, it's gonna only be $20. But that's a $50 value that you're gonna get for $20 if you sign up as a Phenom member. I think that's just the cheapest way to do that if you want a consultation. I'm not telling you to sign up as a Phenom member. You don't have to, but I'm gonna hit you in the head for $50. Or maybe $40-some, depending on all the other tiers you sign up. I would bet you should just sign up for the Phenom and get the first one free. But Gabe Barker, bad bro. He says, missed super chat from Chris Villa. And let's talk Marvin Harrison Jr. Okay. Again, guys, the $5 ones and up. I'm not telling you got to super chat for no $5 because I don't believe that. If you super chat for 99 cents, I'm coming. But I just won't see him. I'm on my phone, so if I go way down, I'm gonna miss my spot. And I don't like dead spots in the live. And Marvin Harrison Jr., guys, it's easy. You just start him. He's the number 1 on the team. Now, if you break him down, is he good as Jerome Chase and stuff? No, not right now. But he is, to me, he's like a Devontae Adams. Even though he's taller, 6'2", 6'3", he has to become a craftsman. He's not outrunning nobody. So he has to learn to have strong hands and be crafty like Devontae Adams, where he's running exceptional routes. And that's what his game is going to be. A little bit of Devontae Adams D-hop. That's what his game should be going for. And I think he's going to be fine. Don't get upset. Put him in as a wide receiver, 1 or 2, and just play him every week. Ain't nothing else to break down. He's the number 1. If he ain't getting the targets, that's something different. But he's going to get the targets. This is the top 5 pick. Chris says, you a real one, Gay. Yes. This is the we a family here. Senor Rojas says, my team scored the highest this week, 150 points. If this continues, my league in trouble when Rashid Rice get back. Big facts. All right, guys, I got to get ready to get out of here. Hold on, we got a couple more. Okay. Fred says, okay, thank you for letting me know, Gabe. I see what you're saying. Love is some super chats at the bottom. Thank you, Gabe. Thank you. And guys, I'm gonna start going down to the bottom and make sure I'm looking. I would do that. I would do that. And guys, if I miss your spot, it is what it is. But I got to get to the super chats. These guys that's chastising me about their super chats, they have the right to do that. So that's why I'm telling y'all the channel is growing. So if you want your questions answered, you're gonna have to get to the super chat. But a friend says drop Matthew Golden for Keyshawn Butte. No, don't drop Matthew Golden, but try to get Keyshawn Butte if you can, but do not drop no Matthew Golden. I don't want this guy out there on the waivers. We're going to hold on to him. I'm going to give you a time frame. We're going to hold on him for about 2 more weeks, including this week and then next week. And then we'll make another assessment. But he needs to be on your team for 2 more weeks. All right. I'm trying to find Chris real quick before I get out of here. I'm going to go back to your super chat, Chris. Okay, worried about neighbors. What do you do with AJ? Don't be worried about neighbors. Don't be worried about neighbors. Just AJ Brown, you're just gonna have to start him. I wouldn't have drafted him, but you got him on your team. So if he has a boom game and you don't want him, you sell him at that point in time. But he's going to be fine. He could be a part of your championship winning team because he could go off in the playoffs. AJ Brown is going to be okay. He's just not going to be consistently giving you 20-point games and being a wide receiver 1. Not on this championship. They chasing a real championship. Appreciate that, Barker. Anytime, AK. Anytime. I should have put your question in my comment. You right. That's what you should have did. But thank you for letting me know. Thank you for letting me know, Gabe. BT says, did you already talk about how bad Russell Wilson is? No, it ain't Russell. It's the offensive line. But they might have to go ahead and roll with the young rookie just because of what happened. He makes me want to drop neighbors, right? If you feel good about it, Chris, I would only do it if that's the redraft league and you need depth. All right, just making sure. Just notice the Steelers fans are screwed. They get Tomlin for another year because he's getting a winning season. What's up, TD? You Danny Dimes this season like 2 seasons ago? No, bruh. I ain't saying nothing about it. I'm just going to let God handle it. I gave that to God. I gave that to God, man. I had to give it to God, bruh. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all. Trade AJ for Krosky and Tet. No, I wouldn't do Ted. I would do somebody. I would keep Krosky, but I would go up to maybe Jameson Williams. I would do Krosky and Jameson Williams, something like that. I know that team might not have J-Mo, but I would move up a little bit better than Ted because Bryce Young, we got to see him willing and dealing before you take Ted. AJ going to give you some number 1 weeks. I don't think Ted going to give you a number 1 week right now. All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm going to get out of here. I got to get my lineups. I probably missed my window, but it don't matter. This is what I do for a living. Y'all guys be safe. I love y'all. Peace.